So, how's it going, Obi?
Would you look at that?
Would you look at that?
Would you look at that?
I can't believe I'm looking at that right now.
This market is absolutely wild, guys.
Set up my earpiece here. Yeah. Okay.
Oh boy.
What we were just referencing was, would you look at this? Would you look at Apple? I mean, Apple right now down 0.21%. Sorry, up, but heading to the downside right now, giving it back. I mean, there's 250. We tried it a couple times trying to hold 249, but no, 249.50 giving it up, and now all the way to the downside. And it's funny, we're talking about would you look at that, and it's because Obi and I had sort of talked about, and Obi had mentioned before, and he's going to talk about the trade, but this breakdown there to the downside right now. We've seen some fails there the other day when Tesla finally failed 400 and fell back through. Yeah. Now, obviously, Tesla's much higher. We'll talk about some of these positions as we go. I have to get in and out. I still am into a few things. Bitcoin as well, Google today, Tesla, Palantir. So a few names that I'm in. We'll figure this all out. Thank you for the midday show there from our guys. All right, Palantir. I got to get a stop out right now because we're starting to get a little bit higher right now. As look at all these shorts. We got in some, but we just got stopped out at the high, and then it fell back into 72. So I'm trying to short this high again right now on Palantir. It's up 2%. I had thought that we would fail in and around here. That's sort of this drop zone right now. So we're getting ready to punch out as Palantir if it takes 72.50. But for right now, we are short that name. That's my trades. IBIT we're long as well. A couple good buys in Bitcoin. But yeah, right now, good market here today. Up 2%, all-time highs all over the place.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And that drop zone is definitely coming in on Apple there. And yeah, that's what I was saying. Would you look at that too?
Yeah.
Because I mean, the break of trend, would you look at that? The back through 250, failure to follow through, lower high in the 250 halves right there. I did flip short off of that, which is slightly questionable. I told myself I wouldn't be shorting all-time highs, but certain price action is just so enticing. It's so juicy, and I'm just like, wow, like this leg is about to potentially fail to follow through off of a key level like 250. And guess what? I cover everything just slightly above VWAP. And then we had a consolidation, which is fine. It's okay. It's decent. It's an okay trade. But the mistake here is not getting back in on this consolidation underneath the 250 or even this pop into 249 halves for the continuation to the downside. Because, sure, the market is running up like crazy, but Apple clearly is breaking trend. Now, this is something I was pointing out to Sean. I was just like, look at these 15-minute bars, man. I was like, this is absolutely beautiful. Like, yeah, the range is really wide, but we're holding prior bar low like clockwork. And all of a sudden, guess what? That 250 comes right in as a prior bar low, makes a lower high, and then look at the selling that comes in after that bar is broken, going to the downside. Again, distinctly different from what the market is doing. But we know Apple's going to do its own thing as well if it chooses to, and that selling does come in quite aggressively. So reversion to VWAP, check. Full-on 100% V-shape reversion. I did not have that in mind, but here's the thing. There was no real reason there's no strong reason to cover the whole position is what I'm trying to get better at. It's just like, all right, well, you know you're in a trade that's working. And it's giving you everything that you want. It's showing you everything that you want. So what reason do I really have to cover the position unless and until it shows me a significant reason to, to either go the other way or to, just to get out of the position and reassess. So no real reasons, especially if we're trading below that 250. And look, if the market comes in, guess what? I think we're likely to test this day low on Apple here in and around these 247 halves. Is that exactly what it is? Opening range low, I have, 247.55. We're trading at 248s.
Oh, come on.
And teens right now after printing a high of day of 250.80. So we never followed through on that. We never got through 251. We saw all the volume and the chop that was happening. It was winding up into the 250. The 250 comes, it breaks aggressively, yes. But look at that slam dunk all the way down into 250. Double test, breaks that, breaks the trend as well, breaks prior bar. Lots of confluence for the short on Apple. And here comes a market with a little bit of a curl as well. So let's see. Maybe we aren't too late to get in on the spider, but I have no idea. I'm just patiently waiting for the next trade.
I'm like piecing out of this Palantir. I'm getting pretty nervous. I mean, we're short just here right now. Just trying to make back what we lost on this short earlier right now for Palantir. I mean, yeah, I'm with you. I think the market is in trouble, but I don't know if I'm in the right stocks. I'm losing not losing any confidence. I'm just like, why? I mean, we're still in Tesla. Tesla's a $14 winner right now, but it's more like Palantir right now that I'm trying to think about, because my stop is going to be at here at 40s, and then we're short at 14s. So it's like, I have like 15 to 20, 30 cents worth of risk here, and it's really not dropping below this 72 level. So a spot of worry for sure. We did take out some more IBIT. We're going to go over to Sharif in 1 second. We just got out some more Bitcoin right there at 30s. So that's going to be a level that we're going to try to look at right now, again, at the 200 period. So a couple good reloads there. All right, let's go find out what's on the board, because, you know, we could talk about all of our positions, which I'm sure we'll do. But let's go talk about something that you're interested in, Sharif, at the green screen.
Welcome, everyone, to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. The Obe and Sean are ready to go, ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. So join us during How to Trade during the midday and get into the chat and vote for your favorite tickers every day. We have a poll every hour. We'll start looking here at the triple Qs. The major averages all in green territory except the Dow, marginally red, down 0.09, but the best of them all, the NQ up 1.83, but as Sean mentioned, coming off the highs, the ES just marginally below that 6,100 point area, up 0.83, and the Russell above 2,400 again, but up about 3/4 of a point last time I looked. Let's look at the first ticker though, as decided by you, Tesla making all-time highs, and that has this man very, very rich over here, Elon Musk, the first person to reach a net worth of over $400 billion as Tesla stock hits an all-time high, up over 3% at the moment. Goldman Sachs did maintain their neutral rating on Tesla today, but did boost the price target about $95 up into $345. And Tesla's China sales, guys, continue to recover, with the Model Y accounting for over 60% of their November sales. So all in all, fantastic day for Tesla.
Oh boy.
Sorry, my bad.
But
anyways, you need to get more buying power, I think is what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think I would like some. Thank you very much.
Man. No, I'm just saying for how well Obi's trading. We were just talking about where do we have
Well is a questionable word, but
okay. Well,
it could definitely be better.
Fine, well, you can question it, but I can say it. So how well Obi's been trading, he said, well, max buying power position here maybe on Apple. And I'm like, max buying power? Like, that's like, and then I showed him what my buying power was, and he told me what his was, and it was, oh boy.
Yeah, I was just like, oh boy, you know, send some over this way.
Like, you're better than me, you should have more than me.
I don't know about that.
Not about 100 times less. So anyways, we will, you know, we'll get going on that, Obi. I think it's not right. It's not all about the size, Obi. I mean, it's about, you know, the motion of the ocean here with the stocks, and you gotta pick the right stocks. I mean, that's the first thing. And I think we did today, man. Today was a big one for us. We hit the cash register on that very first name, and that's going to be Tesla, right? I mean, Tesla today was a great stock. It was pretty choppy early. I don't know. Obi could talk about the hold through here, but like I couldn't. So I wound up, we got in, great trade, breaking through 400, breaking through 410, goes to 413 early. But then all through here, like when we start breaking the 200 period and VWAP, wherever it was at that time, it just becomes problematic for me. And then once we drop through the pre-market low here of about 406, 405, that was sort of it. We talked about the line in the sand being down here at 405. It breaks it, then it comes back. We actually get long and bring it back to like 408, 409. Then it breaks it again. Then we got long, and we're actually still long. So right now we are $15 in the money, but it's a small piece. Like we bought some back here. I was actually going to draw the line in the sand at 400 as we rode on here, but unfortunately it never came through. It never got that low. So we're able to take a much smaller position and just make back the money that we had lost into there. So for me, Tesla is not going to be an oh boy kind of a stock today. It's going to be a great call and a great look, but we don't have the shares on board to put any real damage on this name. So good stock today. We're fine with it. We're happy with it. Nice. But we did not do the hero hold like you did through there. So that was a great call by you. I don't know what kept you in. Maybe there's something that you can tell us now. But great one, and nice to see Tesla new all-time highs. I mean, it's the reason why it's the #1 I trade idea on the sticky note. It's the reason why it was the #1 trade. Me and Obi were both in this thing in the pre-market.
Yep.
So we liked it.
good.
We liked it right off the jump, and it's working. So congratulations, everybody that's still in this name. I wish I were in it a lot more, but it's basically a flat trade for me today. And I'm fine to tell you that. I mean, we talked about how many shares that we were kind of loaded up in this area, and we didn't put on as much to go back. So flat on this stock, but should be a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, Tesla was absolutely wild, but I don't know if I would call that a hero hold, Sean. That was a little disgusting on my part. Whereas I think I removed the disgust from off my screen. I'm joking. But no, it's like holding roughly about almost 10 points against you is not the way to do it. But again, I was sized in relatively
Exactly.
Enough to be like, I'm not totally blowing my day on this, right? It's well within manageable risk limits, even though I'm doing that. But the mistake that I made was not getting just as aggressive on the right-hand side, and then on this hold as well, where we pull back in.
Tesla just took out 418.
Range low. Yeah, we're going to 420s, man.
You said for jokes, like 420.69. I didn't know if it was a joke or not, but like when this name was at 405, I thought like, yeah, 420, like puff, puff, pass, like literally puff, puff, pass.
I mean, it's well within.
You know, we'll spark
range.
one up when this gets to 420. But this is gonna happen on the show. We ain't getting demonetized. But right here, 420 is coming in. Great trade on that one. Oh boy, Obi. Yeah. We're starting to get a little bit lower even on Palantir. We just got another fill in the low 80s there, or sorry, the mid 80s. Let's see if Palantir can get lower. Give us that fill. I'm waiting for 60s now for PLTR. Good little short here. 30 cents in the money on some kind of shares. So let's wait to see what Palantir wants to do. Just back into this area right now. Tough trade. All right, it's Broadcom's world and we're all living in it.
New deal with Apple today as they report they're working on an AI chip, an advanced AI chip between Broadcom and Apple. Good day for them, up 5.6%. They also, guys, report tomorrow after the bell. The expected move supposed to be between 6.6, depending on what source you're looking at. 6.6% here from Market Chameleon, 7.2% on my other platform. It was a tough move for them last time. They lost over 10%. 10.4% was the last move with a healthy amount of options volume, guys.
All right, so yeah, with reporting tomorrow, Broadcom should be a very, very interesting name. We've seen, I'm going to talk about it. I was long NVIDIA, then I was short NVIDIA, and then I'm in the grave with NVIDIA. So right now, Broadcom, and I said to Obi, I said, you got to check this name out because this is breaking the highs as well. I don't know if it's going to do it today, tomorrow, but coming into earnings right now, that 186 is not, because the split, I got to show the other chart right here. So coming into this 185 level, look how good that looks, man. Yeah. I don't know what else to do with this stock except for wait for those reports and then just try to get long because this looks like it wants to take these levels out. And when it does, who next? You know, like that just breaks through up into that 200. Then it has that 200 magnet on it. We weren't sure where Apple was going to go when it broke the high of 236 or whatever. Well, how about 250? We're not sure what Tesla's going to do now that it broke the high. What about 450? So I think Broadcom again. I like these looks when we're breaking down and hitting off the 200 period. And then just bouncing higher. Look, nobody's supposed to know what happens with earnings, right? We're not supposed to have that, early idea of what's coming through. But like, deal with Apple, deal with Oracle. Like, Broadcom just continues to win in this space. We've had losers like an Intel, can't get some deals done. Broadcom seems to be working well. AVGO, we got the stock split.
Yep.
Let's see what winds up happening right now. We don't trade it enough on this show, that's for sure. And I feel like we should. Broadcom continues to be a nice name, up 5.5% today. I mean, this is the question. Do you want to trade Broadcom or do you just want to trade SMH? Like Broadcom at highs. NVIDIA still has $10 to go to the high. AMD, we noticed today, down to 130 and lower than that right now.
Made it all back.
Oh, it's probably,
AMD,
what is it now?
It came all the way back.
Yeah.
AMD's back at 129.66.
Right, so 130. And then this is the thing here on SMH. So I think this hold of the 200 period, we just talked about Broadcom, bounce. Well, so yeah, if you like the earnings coming through possibly on Broadcom and you're a little bit nervous about where it is, look at the SOXL or SMH in the semis ETF.
Yeah, I think right away, a level kind of stands out here on Broadcom. Bit of a triple top action here at that 180. We're holding above that right now. And something interesting to note as well is, yeah, it's up a decent amount on the day, but we're also doing some relative volume coming in off of this. I think they had a catalyst in the morning here, and you can see that relative volume,
with Apple there
3.6.
was,
Yeah, there's some sort of deal with Apple there. That volume has definitely been dwindling as the day goes on, and so has the relative volume. It's been decreasing slightly. We're sitting at 1.64 RVol on a 5 period, on a 3-minute right now. But the interesting thing is we are still building up into the highs. It is earnings eve for this ticker here, so it should be interesting. Yeah, a lot of these tickers on earnings have been making some crazy moves either into all-time highs or pulling back to 52-week lows or even lower. But it should be interesting going forward. But something to note was they did have a catalyst today, so it's definitely tradable. And yeah, I think you're right, Sean. We definitely have to be looking at some of these tickers that have catalysts, that are priced well, the spread is decent. And yeah, after the split, especially, I don't think we had any strong reasons not to trade AVGO off of the open there. That VWAP hold off of the open looking nice as well, continuing to build higher highs. Again, market tailwind definitely helping us out on that move.
What we are going to go back, and we're going to talk about Google because Google's been a hot fire. But like this Tesla now is 418.50, and it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, part of me is like, just get out and wait to see what happens at 420. Like that's part of it right now. I mean, stocks do go up, and it seems like they might go up for longer than they go down. But for right now, Tesla is definitely on this move higher. Just thinking about where to get out, maybe the 200 period, guys, 415. That might be the play at this point. Still going higher here, Tesla. All right, hey, look, another name. Let's go. This is a big one, man. I mean, this is a money one as we drop it down right here and we go bullish on this name for a long time. It's interesting to hear that Joey Options position is all about Google as well. We really like that name here. And as Joe says, it's buzzing. So let's go find out what the story is here with Google.
Another all-time high, that's the story, Sean. After they unveiled Willow, their new quantum computing chip, doing well in testing, able to solve a math problem that would have taken the strongest supercomputer in the world currently, 10 to the 25 to the power of 25 years. Don't know what that is. Anyway, up 4.2% on the day. Again, no new headline, but a great couple of days for Google.
Below that.
Yeah, we were just talking about Google there, but before we go on and do that, let's quickly talk about our friends over here at Trade the Pool. We want to thank them one more time. Look at those handsome gentlemen. We got to put Obi up there. Who is that other guy? All right, so Trade the Pool allows stock traders like you to get evaluated and trade real shares using the company's capital with, of course, no PDT rule holding you back. What? Trade the Pool just launched a limited edition program for a one-time fee of just $300. You'll receive $80,000 in buying power. That's pretty good. And the chance to become a funded trader. Hit a profit target of just 4%, and you'll start trading with the company's capital. Get funded easier and faster with new conditions designed for your success. And the best part about this is the profit split has been upgraded to a very generous 70%. So not only are you going to be making money with more money, but you could keep more money now and keep that in your pocket. Better in your pocket than in Trade the Pools. So go over there, grab those 70 points from TTP. Trade the Pool. Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right. Why don't you talk a little bit about Google here? I'm still in this. I'm in the money right now. It is going to be my P&L number one today will be Google. But you were just talking about possibly fading something there.
Yeah, no, I think earlier I was looking at this move. I was like, oh yeah, 195. Again, aggressive buying. We talk about the relative volume this thing's doing in the pre-market. Look at that down here. I see that 9. This is where it shows you right here. This is where it shows you the relative volume. And right off of the open at 4 a.m. Sure, we're not doing significant volume, but we started doing 9 times. And I started getting alerts in the pre-market. I'm like, oh, that's definitely not my morning alarm. Oh boy, it was a trading view down in the DMs. So I was just like, all right, so 5 times RVol, 2 times RVol coming in off of the open. This is an aggressive move, guys. Like, look at this. Opening range low to where the bid kind of starts to dissipate a little bit. That's about almost a 5% move. That's 8 points, 8.8, 4.78% off of the open there. That's kind of what we were looking for on day one of this catalyst, right? Day one of this catalyst. Okay, they got a quantum chip, but we pretty much have a decent opening drive here. But we trade sideways for pretty much the whole day, hold VWAP, and then close strong into the end of the day there. and then trade higher off of the open. Bit of a dip holds. We break this downtrend only to break pre-market highs. So I think there were multiple decent areas to get in, and this thing was an A+ yesterday, and I'm thinking I got to playbook this one as well as a day 2 continuation trade on a ticker that continues to do unnatural RVOL, and then it pushes even higher for almost a 5% push. We're trading at a high of 195.44, is currently at 192.90s, and yeah, holding on top of VWAP. Even that dip into VWAP sustained. So the bid is definitely strong on this ticker. Again, all-time highs. Do I really want to revert? I was talking to Sean in and around this 95 pullback, like when it bid back up. I'm like, all right, maybe this is the time to do it. Sure, it's working off right now. It's coming back into VWAP. But then again, the long is definitely the place to be here. And of course, it's a multi-day move. As a bigger picture, we have been trending to the upside, and we're breaking through key levels such as all-time highs. So Google, solid trade there, and shout out to Sean for being involved with that one.
Yeah, we're involved right now as well with Palantir. We're going to put out some more bids. We just took some more short, just at the same level that we're at. We're only giving this one to 72.50. If it goes higher, forget about it. I mean, I had just noted that we're at the 50-period moving average. I mean, the market, to go short into this, you got to have some kind of outs, and it has to be at the highs. So we'll see if we get a little, Palantir is going to go. We'll see if we get a little bit of an afternoon fade happening in PLTR. Remember where our out is, actually 72.40, which is the high, which is right here, basically. Sort of this pre-market area. I feel a little silly. I wanted to get a short in something, and we've been doing fine on Palantir, and we actually just covered right there in the 80s down here, which was really good. But you could see it's been basically 10 minutes straight up right now. So these names are getting real heated right now. All right, so Google. So again, a name that we liked, but we liked it a lot lower. It just never got there. Like, it just started going all day. So we were able to play that, one of the first real kind of pullbacks. I mean, it stopped right there, but we didn't get involved until about 10:30. And then when we did, it was pretty good. Came into the 50 period. It does wind up holding that 191 and then straight upside to the point where we're starting to get some out. And we still have a little piece left. We got some out at the 50 period, got some out here, 193, 194, 50 was our best out. So that was pretty close to the high of the day, 195.50. We're still long down here, 191 and change. I mean, look, it's still VWAP's play. We'll see if we can get back up. I'm going to put it out in and around 195. Hopefully that can start to play for us at some point. But I mean, right now, Tesla, speechless, really. We're going to talk about GameStop in just a couple minutes. I know Sharif was actually trading some GameStop today. I had not been. We had liked GameStop on the pre-market break. We'll talk about that in a minute. But look at Tesla right now. It is going to get that 420, man. Like, it's 419.50. It's not stopping. This is what I mean by like program buys, right? It's like someone's in here buying. This is 71 million shares times $400. It's like, this is not a low. And not only that, there's so much money on the sidelines right now. Look at all the money that has to come in to push Tesla up 5%. Look at all the money that has to come in to push Google up as well. Plus, you're trying to hold out to Apple. Like, there's reasons why some of these, that's Apple in Canada. What's up to the Canadian CDRs, AAPL here in, how many volume on this one? So again, not too much here, 23 million, but maybe that's why some of these other names are falling down. There's just so much money supporting some of these bigger plays. Let's go over and check out GameStop off earnings.
Reported after the bell yesterday, mixed report. They were able to shore up costs and were able to print a net profit on the year. Compared that to last year, this quarter, they actually printed a net loss. However, sales continue to shrink, so a bit of a tougher look there. Market didn't care, guys, up 7.83, but rejected that $30 area.
GME, I just realized I had the wrong chat up. Shout out to everyone. What's up, CompuCare team and everybody else over there. All right, GameStop. Yeah, it was this break. So that's kind of the break that we had talked about right away off the open, and we didn't have it, and it's been holding that, and it's been holding VWAP. So again, this is a play that whenever you're off earnings, forget about, if you just remove the symbol from this and you think about, like, you know, all the potential that it has to pop and this and that. Sure, we know the GameStop story. We know that it can be really juicy. But if you're just going to look at this from a stock, so again, I'm surprised it's up. We talked about the EPS there. It's nice that it was plus 6 cents, but their revenues were slightly lower. I think it was 860 million versus 880. The note is there. Sharif just mentioned it. You can go get our watch list still. There it is. Scan that QR code right there for everything you need to know about all these stocks. But at the end of the day, it's holding VWAP, but it's there right now. So decision time at 29 bucks for GameStop. I thought this was a gem of a stock, just going, not necessarily going into earnings, but just holding this 200 period. We talked about this $20 to $25 marker, right? It's holding that right now. So that's the 50 period. The 200's down here at 20. We've seen it hold. It seems like it wants to go. I think the next time this thing breaks $30, $32, it does have that squeeze chance. I'm not sure. Let me just look up here on Benzinga before I throw it back over, because I said there wasn't a huge short float on this, and I'm not 100% sure what. Yep. So we had Adair said 834, 8 and change is right. 8. I mean, whatever. It's the same difference. 8.7. So either way, you're under 10% of a short float right now. So you don't really get that sort of oomph behind it for that. AMC as well, 12.99. You know what was one of the biggest shorts in the market for the longest time was Beyond Meat. Wow, still 45%. Some activists got to come in and do something about that. I believe they will. Watch out for Peloton as well, because that had a big short float, and that's to 10 bucks right now. Peloton up 5%. So that's had quite a move as well for Peloton. Another big short float opportunity there. So yeah, I think the more we look at GameStop, the more we'll probably like it and understand that there is a pretty decent potential now going one way on that. Someone's calling me and it shows their name and I have no idea who it is. So that's pretty cool. No, it's not. It's not another barber situation on the mind right here. But yeah, any thoughts for you on GameStop?
I mean, the thing about GameStop is that, yeah, they had earnings day one, and I was like, yeah, there are other definitely better names off of the open that I would like to look at, even if it is for earnings. We saw that Stitch Fix was nice. Macy's as well, not too bad on Macy's. But GameStop, surprisingly enough, wasn't too bad looking back at it. Again, in retrospect, we get that opening drive right off of the open, and look at how beautifully it has held VWAP in the morning session, kind of flags on top of pre-market ranges, and then bids up even higher into the 30 test. A bit of a double top in that 30 area. Couldn't quite get to pre-market highs or earnings reaction highs at that 31 level, but we've pulled back into VWAP here right now, and guess what? That's where buyers were in the opening session and a lot of the morning session there. So I don't know, if I'm curious about this one, I might look for more of the same, but whether or not that'll be there, the tape will dictate on GME. But definitely doing good RVOL and having some decent price action here on the day. But a lot of other names definitely were a little distracting off of the open, let's say that. GameStop, still a lot of opportunities.
Adobe reports after the bell today. It's about flat, up 0.5 percentage point. Analysts here are looking for more upside. Consensus is about 9.33% upside potential here for Adobe, currently trading at 550 bucks. Here's what we're expecting: an 8.1% move. That is the expected move. Last time around, we got an 8.5% move in the sell side. So we'll keep an eye to see how they do today. Earnings Whisper says that these guys are reporting at 4.5. So make sure to join Adara and Sean on the Market Recap Show.
Tesla?
Yeah, Tesla 420 is on its way
Oh
here.
my God.
Oh my God.
All right, forget about Adobe. All right, so hold on just quickly. Yeah, okay, so 420. Are we going long? What is your thought on punching?
I am already long.
You're already long. Okay, so am I, but that's not, it's an older
For
position.
punching more. What's your idea on punching more? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah,
I mean, I want to see a hold.
Where are you long again? Yeah, so you don't need to punch longer because you're long
Yeah.
at this level.
Yeah,
so,
I'm long at the level.
it's more for me, who's long at 403.
Oh boy.
Right now, so $17 in the money.
Double up? I mean,
That's what I'm wondering.
even then your average
But
would be
we've seen the fail. So what I'm waiting for here is, and we will talk about Adobe. I'm not leaving that alone. I will talk about it, but we are looking to break right now, and there's a bigger story here. Unfortunately, and that's going to be the Tesla 420 area. So what I think could happen is that fake break, and what I mean by that is, we go up and then we just come right back in again. So that could break the 420. We've seen that happen. I have too many fills here, but where did we break? Was that 410? Right into here, and then we had that move higher, and then the fade back. This is a closing candle red, you have to remember. So there's the 410 break early. It goes up to 410.50, and then it closes the candle at 407 before then going all the way back up. So this has already happened right there early today, where we broke 410, we went to 410.50, and then we fell back down $3. Before the long picked up again. It happened to be at the 200 period moving average. This is not going to drop down to 415. If anything, that 417 area could be something, but I would say why not right here, 419. So if you are a little bit like, weary about punching that level. I'm not sure you need to be, but if you are, what about a 419 retrace back in? If that was something that you were interested in. So yeah, man, I think it's a decent spot there to go long, Obi. I know you're already in it. Yeah. So yeah, I think you could probably punch a little bit more.
2,000 lots sitting there.
420. I might punch more in.
Yeah, I think there's about 2,000 lots sitting on top of the 420 right here. Well, maybe just over 2,500 lots roughly. If I can do quick, I'm not that good at quick maths, but I'm just doing a quick, 1 plus 1 is 2. Quick maths over here, but
that was great math.
Thank you. Got to check the statistics on that one there. 420 incoming, only about 4 pennies away from the ask. 97s. Here we go. Okay, you can't even see it over here, so let me move this out of your way so you guys can see that that potentially come in here.
So I just took my piece out.
Okay.
Just in case we don't break.
We haven't printed anything on near 20 just yet.
Wow.
97, 98s are the highs now. Let's see. Let's see if how aggressively that ask gets taken out here as of right now. But the buildup is absolutely wild here. You know what? I just realized that you guys cannot see. So there you go, right here. So that's that size that's sitting at that 420 mark as of right now, and we're kind of pulling up into it. It's a gradual, methodic kind of buying that's pulling up into it. Let's see if we have enough buyers to eat through that level. And I think that Tesla, with the kind of pressure that the market has and the way that it kind of moves, yeah, sure. How much is that notionally, Sean? Like 2.5K lots at 420.
Well, 2,500 lots. Okay, it's going to break anyways. 2,500 lots is 100 shares each lot.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're at 250,000 right there times yeah,
420. Oh boy.
I mean, the math there is beyond my pay scale, but here it goes. Nice. It's probably pretty easy to do. Yeah.
So boys front running at 98s.
Yeah. So again, I'm out of that trade right now just because I just didn't need it to come all the way up here. We got out at 94. I don't need to come all the way up here and then fail and go down $1, and then I just give up $1 on that play, right? So we're going to get out right now. If we have to pay for a little bit more of this trade, we'll do it. Breaking through 420 right now. I'm going to go long. I did cross. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Like I just got
2014 is the high.
All right, I got long underneath there.
Yeah.
So I don't know what just happened.
So we did clip it a little bit there.
Okay.
But
all right.
We're holding up. We're holding up on the.
Did we go higher than it?
We did go higher. The high print right now is 420.14 that I have.
Okay.
So the pullback wasn't as aggressive either. Like it's not really like it's still doing the methodic kind of churn up into the level, almost as if that size at 420 was nothing, and we're poised to trade a little bit higher. As of right now. But here we go. We're above 420 right now on the bid, 420.02s. Let's see how well we hold up. Do we print the quarter? Not really, not yet. But we're holding up quite well. But look at the market as well, Sean. 21,800 on the NASDAQ, and it is on our side. We got that market tailwind, so I say sails wide open for this push through 420. Let's see if we can get any higher with this tailwind. Oh boy. 420.26. Guess where I'm sitting with a little bit of a sell, Sean? If you were to pick a number.
No, I'm not part of this.
Oh boy.
I know exactly the number that you're going to be saying, my guy.
I mean, I want to take some off.
Let me guess. A couple pennies less than 70.
Yeah. Maybe
something in and around there. Yeah. Maybe 64. No, but here we go. So I did get out something there at 30s when it started to go back up to the upside because I got a print underneath 20s. Yeah. So we'll take something out. We'll take out 10%. Right there. I don't feel great about that. I think we can even go a lot higher. 5% for Tesla's decent. It's a pretty good move. Remember, the catalyst today, there wasn't, I don't think there was much as far as the catalyst is concerned today, was there? We had it written down today for Tesla here, trading power. No, that's GameStop. Sorry, my bad. Goldman Sachs raised its price target to 345. 345,
yeah.
Slightly missed on that one, Goldman, and has a neutral rating on the stock, slightly missed on that as well. We did talk about full self-drive. We talked about Cruise with GM possibly giving up their full self-drive unit. So maybe that's something. I mean, if you're giving up on and sort of scrapping the probably billions, I don't know what they lost, probably hundreds of millions on their full self-drive unit, it's because there's a king in the building, and that would be Tesla right now. So, I mean, if they're all sort of watching out for this stock, would be surprised here that maybe we've anointed already the winner right now in autonomous driving. We know that Waymo's there. And oh, by the way, Gulp, I bought some more Uber down here today at $60. 60. I'll find out what price that fill came in for me today on Uber. But we got filled on this name, and good move down today, 6% down for Uber. I think it was in around 60 or so, right in around here, just before we came back on air. This name has been getting absolutely clobbered. As we say, there can only be one winner. I don't know about that anymore, man. I mean, right now, Uber on this move, they don't... Waymo is like whammoing their stock because like ever since we announced that Waymo was coming into Florida there, into Miami there, this has been a big downside move. So I think it's overdone, but a lot of people sort of fire first, ask questions later. And I think that's probably what's happening with Uber right now. Why bother to wait for their report? Why bother to wait what's going on with them? Just get out of the stock and then figure it out a little bit after that. So yeah, for right now, Uber downside pretty dramatically there, down 6%. I bought the dip there. Doesn't mean it's right, but there goes Uber downside again today. I'm going to take out one more piece here at 30 on Tesla because that's what it seems to be bouncing off of. And of course, I put the offer there and it goes down 30 cents. Here we go, man. What's the plan of action now? How far are you holding this thing all the way back down to 400 or what?
Nice. Yeah, I don't know if I'm making the same decisions that I was in the morning on this one just yet. But here's the thing, we've been having some steady gradual buying, and through that 420, that didn't really change as much in my opinion. We kind of just are churning. We'll see if it gives us a strong, significant move. We did get some decent volume when we cracked through that 2,500 lots at the 420. But again, key level kind of pushing up. If we print some volume at that level and then it starts to hold and trade above that level, I think I've started to recognize that maybe that becomes a little better of a trade for that continuation. So yeah, let's see if it holds some moving averages. Let's see if we can hold above this 420 for a decent amount of time, and let's see if some of these pullbacks get bought right back up. We can see again, like I'm going to reiterate, the market is definitely on our side as we're pushing a little bit higher. So the NASDAQ makes a little bit more of a fresh high as of right now. The ES also kind of ticking back up into its, 6,100 level right now. So yeah, just kind of continue watching this. If the trend breaks and it cracks, that's perfectly fine. More than willing to get out and reassess on that one there. If we do a false break of 420, oh boy. I don't know if I want to revert it right away, but
I'm giving it $1.
Giving it $1. I think that's fair. It's a $420 ticker, Sean. I think we talked about this a little earlier. A 10% move is about $4.20. So I think 10% of price or 10% of ATR, whatever one you want to use. 10% of ATR is definitely a lot less than 4 points, but we got to see what this one brings in for us right here. So still currently holding some decent moving averages, some trend on the day as well. Back into 419 halves though. So we did attempt to push that 420, got to a high of 420.39, and then printing a little bit lower here down into, what was the low of this candle? 419.46. And look, we came right back up into 420 once again. So like I said, coming through it like butter. It seems like this buying is still kind of on as of right now.
It just popped up again, man.
Yeah, it popped up again. I think it's going to wash this 420 a little bit before it continues. But again, as long as we have a little bit of that confluence of market tailwind and the buyer's still kind of there. And again, the buyer, it can just drop as well, right? It can drop a couple points or it can pop a couple points. So if it's going to do the same thing it's been doing for the past hour or so, I expect it to just kind of just continue grinding up with a little bit of a 1 to 2 point chop here, even through that 420. But yeah, that's what we have on watch. Apple 250, that was absolutely crazy. A nice little move. Failure to follow through that 250, but we come right back in. We're holding 248s right now, so I do have eyes on that as well. And another name, of course, is the goggles, and the goggles is pulling back, or it has pulled back quite nicely. 192.86s. So again, looking slightly distinctly different from the markets. Even though it's holding its highs, it's having a little bit of relief. But something that is printing fresh highs on the day right now, Sean, is NVIDIA. NVIDIA is printing some fresh highs. Obviously, Tesla is as well. We know we're involved in that one. The Spider, only about 30 pennies away from its high a day. Amazon doing a little bit of a breakdown as well. Let's take a look at some of these chips. AMD, oh boy. AMD, 130.48 highs right now, trading at 38s. SMH at its high a day. Micron at its high a day, ARM also at its high a day. SMCI hasn't been a bad one either. Not necessarily, actually, are these high a days? It's coming into its high a day. Let's see if that one breaks as well. So chip's kind of strong. I can't believe SMH made it all the way back and more on this move. Okay, here we go.
Ooh, Tesla's,
break.
yeah.
Break down to 19.2s here
Why can't that be
on Tesla. So why can't that be Palantir? Yeah.
Yeah, I need Palantir to go down. All right, so Palantir just hanging out upside. My stop is 15 pennies away here on Palantir, and I will discuss that in a minute. Here comes Tesla. By the way, I already put my stop in, man. I don't want to give back, you know, too much here of what we were able to do by holding it this far. So if we break rate now lower, we've said we're going to be in this for about $1. So my target is right here, 418.75. If we break lower than that, we're gone. This could be a decent reload spot. The 50 period's right here at 418.30s. That could be something. We're not super heavy into this. We were very, very debated on taking this, and we actually have some outs. So far, so good there. It's Palantir that's just bounced off of the 50 period like the last half hour. So that's kind of getting me going a little bit here. What's up, Harry Lou? First of all, it says you are not allowed to trade your long-term personal account. That's obviously not true. We are allowed. We decide not to do it while we are here live on the air because I just don't want to be like, I bought Uber in my long-term account and I'm buying it here and I'm talking about it. It just doesn't jive with what we're trying to do here on the show. So that's why all of the trading that I will do, and I don't do very much during the day, to be honest with you, would be while we are off air and, you know, just not doing anything as far as trading our own prop accounts. Here. So I have not traded Uber yet today or anything like that. So I'm just talking about longer term positioning for stocks because honestly, like I hold Palantir. Like I've been buying Palantir since, you guys know this. I mean, whatever, I have the hats right over there since its inception. So, you know, I'm long Palantir. These are all sells.
You bought in and around the IPO?
Yeah, man. Yeah, the direct list. It's not even an IPO.
Oh, wow.
Direct listed.
Oh.
Because Palantir was a 25-year-old company at the time.
Yeah.
So right now it's 30 years old. It came to market well matured. So they were just handing out shares and everything like that to the company, shareholders, executives, things like that. And they were able to direct list instead of going out and raising capital from, well, that's what you do anyways. You go out to the open market and raise capital. But Spotify was another direct listing as well. Uber was an IPO. Yeah, so I just want to talk about that. It's like, oh yeah, and then you said, how are you determining your limit order for a stock like Uber? So generally speaking, I don't, when I'm talking about my longer term accounts, and thank you for that question there, Harry Lou. When I'm talking about longer term accounts, generally speaking, if a stock falls down to a price, I'm either bidding it already and will get filled, or I just look over and kind of just hit the market buy key in my account because I just don't want to miss the price. And I'm not really, and I think Obi and I were talking, or maybe it was Randy outside because we were talking about Rivian and sort of the price action that we've seen on Rivian lately. And although it's down today, or it was down, I'm not sure. Yeah, so it's still down that 2%. I was like, whether or not you bought this stock at 11.25 or 11.55 or something like that, it's not really going to matter if your plan is to hold this one for X amount of weeks or whatever it is. The pennies, options, it's going to mean a lot because that's going to be strike prices and things like that. But when you're talking about, you know, averaging in and layering into a position, whether or not your stop is up here or even just like 10 cents higher, you know, it's generally speaking, not going to matter. When you're trying to hold something for the long term, you just want to have the direction right and play the trend. That's going to be by far the most important thing about stocks, especially when you're swing trading. Play the right trend. Don't try to catch falling knives or don't try to short things that are absolutely ripping unless you have some kind of a reason. And that's why I talk about Broadcom and things like that, is that if you like the stock, it is near the all-time highs, you may want to look at an SMH or something, especially because AMD and NVIDIA, some of these stocks tend to go their own little ways. And you got to watch out for that. So yeah, so the only thing really on my mind right now, we have a great Tesla hold there, right?
Yeah.
So Tesla comes in and holds, so that is completely fine. And unfortunately, we're having a hold the wrong way for Palantir. Palantir is holding higher. So if this drops down, this is my only trade right now that I'm working with. Google, just to let everybody know, I am long Google, but again, it's that like 5% that we had left of this trade. It is coming back in, so we are a little bit nervous about this. I want the market to absolutely crank lower right now because I have an infinitely bigger position than on Palantir than anything else. So my Tesla trade, although $420 stock, we still want this to come through. We were able to get a little bit out on the high side of this trade. So we'll hold on that. D-loaf, yeah. I mean, everything. I talked about this with Neil. You know, sometimes, I mean, we'll disagree on things. It doesn't really matter. I think you and I have talked about this before, and you talked about this earlier. It is really all about the share sizes that you have on all of these trades. You know, like if I have 1,000 shares long on this Tesla trade that I just made $20 on,
Oh boy.
you know, like, oh boy, to your point. Was that your point? Yeah. So, and okay, there we go. So we just drop out of Tesla. So like, again, you know, when we talk about it, I try to tell you about roughly what kind of share size we have on and things like that, and try to tell you when we have bigger shares on certain stocks rather than other names. So right there, we didn't have a huge position on Tesla. It just dropped down. We just got taken out on that break. And it looks like we might have got, again, like a decent price. We got 75s again, but that was the break that we wanted. It looks like we might have maybe got out at the very bottom, but we'll see right here. It is starting to teeter a little bit, and it's all about the share size, because if you make the wrong call right there and buy more shares there than maybe you did like in here, well, that dollar is going to hurt a lot. But if you bought 10 or 15% of it, then at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. So I do feel like management of your position sizing, very, very important. We can all agree on that one. So, yeah, just be patient with it and try to put your money in. And again, something else that you've talked about, Obi, try to get your money in at the best opportunities.
Yes.
Try to rate your opportunities scales 1 to 5, 1 to 10, A's, B's, whatever. But say this is an A+ setup. So therefore, if I'm going to lose $500 or my limit on the day, whatever that is,
right,
I want the majority of that loss to come from A+ setups,
yes,
not from FOMO, not from over trading, nothing like that. You want to be calm, cool, and collected, and make the trades and lose money when you know you shouldn't have. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah,
if I'm going to lose on a trade, it's on a trade where I feel like the expected win is there.
yes.
And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. So
I definitely agree with that, Sean. I think that's something that definitely is built over time, and I'm in the journey of building that database of which trades for me are A pluses, which trades are Bs, which trades are Cs, which trades are Ds that I don't even want to mess around with, even if they look enticing, right? And it's like, all right, well, over time you build that kind of a playbook, you build certain types of setups that you might like more than others, and how do you perform on certain ones versus others. And yeah, over time you find out what not to do. Like, for example, Sean was saying, like, yeah, there's certain things that you absolutely don't want to do. And when I was reviewing some of my trades from last week, and I was like, all right, I'm I guess losing unnecessarily on tickers that are trending into their all-time highs, trying to revert them. So it's probably better to get with the trend on those specific things. Now, sure, I still went and shorted Apple at all-time, or at pretty much at all-time highs. But the thing is, like, at the end of the day, sometimes there's, what I'm also realizing is sometimes there's certain types of price action which can outweigh a lot of those other things as well. So again, it's a work in progress. I'm still on that journey. That again, I'm sure that Sean can speak on this. The journey in the market, the learning almost never ends. The market is ever changing. It is dynamic. It is a living, breathing being, and it's almost beautiful how it really kind of.
it's like soccer. It's a beautiful game.
Beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful game. So yeah. 419's trading right now. Apple absolutely puking to the downside. Oh boy! And to think I had 250 20s as a short. We're trading 247 80s. Oh boy, eesh. Forgot that's a bit of a fumble on my part for sure. But again, we reassess and get back in it if and when. And that's something I didn't do either. So you know, something to reflect on the day. But then again, I still have to say that Google and Tesla as well were probably the best opportunities on the day. Now, of course, you could argue that the ES and the Nasdaq were some of the best opportunities if you're trading futures off of that CPI bid that we got aggressively. But again, like my question is, what is your entry execution on that? Like, I don't really have an edge on that. What pre-market high break, continuation, power bar hold, consolidation at the highs. I don't know how I'd really structure that one. But yeah, let us know in the chat whether or not you guys traded the TQs. What do you guys think is the best or was the best opportunity on the day today? For me, I liked Apple through those all-time highs, but I think for me, the better trade was a failure to follow through of that 250. Again, a nice clean quarter mark. I'm going to give that a little bit more precedent on the day than a run to and through all-time highs as well. But yeah, no, it's something that I'm kind of developing and building over time. And I don't know if I'm right or wrong. What I do know is I do want to manage my risk as best as possible. So that's the one thing that I am trying to get better at. But definitely Sean speaking some facts on how to build some of that playbook and size in effectively in your best ideas, being the most in your best and being the least in your worst.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's something I'm definitely working on, because sometimes I find myself having the most in some of my worst trades, and I'm like, this cannot happen. This is unacceptable. But you know, it's a work in progress, right, Sean?
It is. We got out of a third there on Palantir. Oh boy, that was good. Like, we were like, come on, let's go. So that was a nice take there. That's part of the reason why I had about probably 20 times more shares on Palantir than I did on Tesla. But again, it's because of the move, right? Like, I lost $1 on this. So hearing reports of a settlement I just heard in my ear with regards to what? Okay, we'll find out if there's any news in there. But yeah, out of Tesla. I want to, Sharif just left. I want to thank him for sponsoring my daughter's hockey there. Thank you, Sharif. I wanted to do that while he was still here, but thank you to the professor for that one. All right, so Palantir, the good move to the downside right there. IBIT as well, 70 cents in the money. Look at this one. I mean, can you take a look at this, Obi?
Would you look at that?
Would you look at that, Obi? I mean, you know, you gotta have a look at that. And then if you zoom in, yeah, just have a look at that.
Yeah, just look at that.
Right there, bouncing off of the 200. And you look at that, Obi, that's the 50 period right there. And then, Obi, by the way, look at this.
Oh, yeah.
This is another bounce there off VWAP. And as we are getting closer and closer to all-time highs for Bitcoin and for the security IBIT. And again, remember, IBIT, Mike, it could go a heck of a lot higher than this because it doesn't trade past 8 o'clock at night, right? When the market turns off on the NASDAQ, then there's no more trading for IBIT, right? I mean, you can trade Blue Ocean and all. I don't even know if IBIT's on Blue Ocean. You guys let me know if it is. But at the end of the day, that's probably not even the true high. We can get a lot higher than that. So right here, Bitcoin's all-time high is what, 104 and change? Depending on where you're looking, you're at 101 and change right now. We knew that we wanted IBIT early, man. We said as soon as that breaks 100, gimme. So we took that. That was a monster trade, and that was a good one as well. So I actually... scratch that. We do have Google will be my #1 trade today, but IBIT is just chilling very, very close to that level as well. And now that I see where we're at on that, I'm going to take another piece out here in the 70s. So we're offering 71 there. You see what I did there? So I offered 71 instead of punching out 70s. The reason why is it's kind of a fee structure thing, and it's just the way I've been always trained to trade. Shout out to Ezekiel. Thank you for your positive comments there when I was talking, and thanks, Obi, for those nice words as well. But I always offer over here because it's just cheaper. Like, if we punch out there, and it's going to turn out to backfire now, which is what I'm getting at. If you offer here, you miss the gross. Like, when it goes down, like, who cares if I offered 71? It just went to 68. So by punching that level and losing 3 cents or 4 cents gross, I'm talking about saving on fees like half a penny. So to miss 1 penny, it doesn't even make any sense to do that, but that's just something that I feel like I do it. You might not do it as much, but because when I first started trading, I was literally just, and even now we have some strategies where we just grab pennies, and it's like, it's very important that you not grab, you know, whether or not you get filled on the bid or on the ask. Like, that can be a world of difference, and then you add up the fees. Every time, like, if I'm sitting here at 71, so if I'm sitting here on NASDAQ and I get filled, roughly you'll get $1.80, depending on the gateway, up to sometimes $2.50 per 1,000 shares. I'm talking about dollars. It's not that much, $1.80, but they're paying me to execute that trade. So that's where it matters, because if I'm paying $1.80 every time to get in and out of shares, that's gonna be costly. So let's go 50-50. Let's sometimes add and sometimes remove. And if you do that, then your fees are somewhat manageable. Like today, I've traded I have to add up. I don't even have a column that has all my shares. Okay, I've traded over 55,000 shares today. My fees are $56. So it's not horrible. I do have probably more fees than usual on a day like today, but that's just how I try to manage some of the fees that come through there, is by making sure to add liquidity. So just for example, on Palantir, I'm bidding 94s right now. So if it falls into me and hits me on the bid over on this side at 94, I will make money from an ARCA or a NASDAQ or one of these stores that you see in here, where we can choose to play with BATS or EdgeX or even NYSE, NASDAQ themselves. Here, if I go over to a slower symbol, you'll be able to see something here. Let's just go over to Siri, although that's split, so it might not be so slow anymore. But there's NSP, that's NASDAQ. ARB is ARCA, right? MEMX there is an exchange. EdgeX is another one. There's IEX. You guys hear of IEX a lot, right? So there's them as well, access to their quote. So, and then there's New York Book. So even despite it being a New York symbol, a NASDAQ symbol, you can also trade on their gateway. So a little bit of love there back in for some rebate trading, or at least trying to manage your fees. Yeah. You know, I mean, for you, I guess, when you're holding for a little bit longer and waiting for different trigger points, fees are going to be important, but more important for like sort of that scalping nature.
Yeah, I think so as well. Is like as I start to kind of get into a little bit more size, I'm starting to realize certain fee structures may be a little bit more effective and efficient than others. But then again, I've been kind of practicing that kind of execution for a long time, just, you know, using rebates most of the time.
Shout out to Brankles. I mean, it's about, but that's what helps being on a prop floor.
Yeah,
is
we have that kind of edge.
Exactly, figuring out what gateways to use, having access to over 50 gateways. Yeah. You know, we can use dark pools as well. And by the way, dark pools you pay no matter what. So that's why I don't.
There's no rebate darks.
No rebate darks, man.
No.
Were you in the dark about that fact?
Maybe, perhaps, but you know. Now
that was good, right, Adara? That was good, right? That was good. I thought that was all right.
Yeah, no. We came.
That was exceptional.
Ramin says she missed it. Yeah, I was in the dark about dark pools, but now
I think Ramin
I've come to the light, and I'm starting to remove liquidity with some of these lit gates.
Now you're on the. I was going to say now you're using the lit gates.
Lit gates, yeah.
All right.
But yeah, no. It's what's trading above 420. So I'm like locked into this tape here. 420s. We came back to those 420s. Let's see if we can print a little bit higher there. High a day, 420.39 right now. We're still kind of chopping and churning. We pulled back into some moving averages. Then again, like I said earlier, like we printed some decent volume at that 420 breakout. If you guys go look at, I mean, I'm looking at this 30-second chart here on the side, and through the 420, one of the not the highest volume bar on the day, but definitely one of the larger ones. And I want to see the ticker kind of continue to trade higher after that volume has been done. But something that is not trading higher, and oh boy, it's right here on the other side of my screen, is Apple. Sean, Apple actually came all the way down to day lows. So opening range low was, what is that, 47.65 here. So I'll pull in the chart, 47.65. Pre-market, this low that we did right before the open there is sitting at 47.55. We have a low of 47.58 right now intraday on Apple. So yeah, let's see if that thing can come back in. Big fumble on my part, not getting back in on the short. Like, sure, okay, cool. You have a trade that says you reverted to VWAP. Maybe look for some buying at VWAP to use to cover. But looking for that continuation on a strong bid up to the downside when it does break trend and starts to revert. I definitely have to work on leaving on a runner and finding other places, because if the trade is real and if the trade is working, then I got to find places to continue to be involved. I got to find trades within themselves to add into it. So I think this VWAP hold and the VWAP retest here is pretty decent as well. But then again, my playbook on that is maybe not as strong as some of the, or not the database is not as built on those kind of setups as it is some of the reversion ones. So again, having the conviction to take more, definitely, again, to reiterate Sean's point from earlier, comes from kind of tracking your trades and really kind of assessing which ones are better, which ones work when and where, And yeah, trading price action at the end of the day, like that's my thing. Like I like people say, oh, I trade reversions, I trade this, I trade that. And I only trade reversions. Absolutely not. I would like to be a trader that just trades. Price action is a good place to look if I'm gonna try to trade in all different sorts of market environments, because price action, in my opinion, is definitely always king.
We just got
The market is consolidating sideways
IBIT.
on top of this 21,800 here on the NASDAQ, so absolutely crazy there. A bit of a sideways action. You can see how many bars is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're almost 10 bars in sideways with a little bit of a chop here. So that buying is definitely kind of started to slow down, or is it that the sellers have met up with those buyers and we're kind of starting to even out here as of right now? So we're still chopping that 420 here on Tesla. Maybe Apple with a bit of bounce off of the low day there, but I'm not really looking at anything too crazy. Let me know in the chat what you guys are trading so we can potentially look for where is the next trade. Again, can we answer that question? Bitcoin, buy a day on Bitcoin. 101,380s.
Oh,
Let's go. We're pushing past that 100,000 mark there. And what is it? All-time highs is 104s.
That's what I was going to say. We can go have a look quickly at the chart here of BTC. Where is it? Right here. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Right here. Hey, look at this right here. BTC. Okay, what you got over here? BTC. Yeah, 104 and change. So this is again from Bitstamp, I guess. They have it here at 103 and change, just happening back on the 4th, heading into the 5th. So 103.6 and change. This is an hour chart for Bitcoin, and you can see right now looking to take out this 101. I mean, it's going, and we're long crypto right now ourselves. Let's have a quick look at some of these other altcoins. And by the way, it was sirloin today.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here we go.
What's sirloin?
We haven't done this in a minute. This should say what was for lunch at this point, but how was it? How was the lunch?
Oh, it was good. It was good.
All right, I'm just going to find it here.
So I'm sorry. I thought you were, for some reason, I thought you were asking your email.
No. I just don't know how lunch was. I saw you hitting it. That looked like
yeah. It was good. It was good.
I'm still trying to find the
you had the salad.
Yeah.
How was the salad?
It was.
Salads are pretty dope. I mean, I have.
It had it had salmon on it. Yeah. So what was for lunch yesterday? Do you remember? I wasn't here.
Salmon. Boom.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm setting myself up.
It's a day two play for you guys.
That's what I'm saying. It's a day two play. That's what I was gonna say. Like that's why I seriously said salmon was on it. What was for lunch yesterday?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know what? You can reuse salmon a little bit. Just make sure it doesn't get gray.
Yeah.
All right.
You don't want that kind of salmon. You want the. Nice
before we go over some crypto talk here, which we will in a minute, because hey, I always get sidetracked. Yeah. Just really quickly right here. Look at that. Can you look at that?
Oh.
Like there's another fall down. We talked about that. We were bidding 72 flat. This is why you got to do that, because again, we don't discuss share size on here. We've talked about that over and over again, because we all trade very, very differently. So it's not that important, but trust me when I tell you, this 20-cent move down, like I'm not happy with it, but Palantir's holding, the market's holding, we're starting to go higher. Someone in the chat said, where's my target? So we've already made money on this stock, and we're gonna go to Darren in 1 second, Ramin, but I just wanna say that my out is breaking here through 40s. So when we're short now at 20 and we get O's, that's 1-to-1. So that's why we're starting to get out of it. Now we're almost out of half right now. So this trade is almost pretty much flat. We will wind up losing because again, paying fees and not exactly being 1-to-1. But my target is the 50 period. Is the 200 period, which is down here at 71.60s. So that's where my target is. I do have another bid at 94. We talked about that just to see if we do get a drip back into this area. That'd be nice. But again, hopefully the market can come back in. Heading into power hour right now where the market's up and we have imbalances coming at the end of the day, holding the short is not necessarily a wise decision. I don't even know what Tesla's doing. We're going to get back to that after we talk to Adara.
Part of the show is brought to you by Worksport. Introducing a new discovery in the NASDAQ. Worksport, ticker WKSP. Worksport is a U.S.-based manufacturer and rapidly expanding with growing revenues, government contracts, and innovative green energy products designed to power your life off-grid. Whether you're on the move or seeking sustainable energy solutions, Worksport has you covered. Now trading on the NASDAQ under WKSP. Discover the future of clean energy with Worksport. Back to you.
A little bit longer term
higher time
here.
frames for the holds, I think. For just
Well, I was
hold
going to
the
say, look at my
position.
Tesla. We got out the 50-period break there, and now it's right back up to 420. So great hold rate there for you guys as well. So yeah, all right. So 418.
I'm curious to know how many people in the chat are trading Tesla today. So how about this? If anybody or if you guys have traded Tesla on the day today, why don't you throw up some ones in the chat just so we get a bit of a perspective as to how many people actually participated in this Tesla trade. And I'm curious, how many people actually traded Google? So if you traded Google, throw up a 2. And if you traded Tesla, throw up a 1. Let's see. Okay, Ramin says she's going to do a poll. How about that? Yeah.
You can still throw up the 2s and 1s now.
Yeah, you can throw up the 2s and 1s.
I mean, the more engagement,
Ones and twos?
Ramin,
Yeah, exactly.
that we get on the chat
We're holding that
would be
420
good
right now.
as well.
Here we go. We got a lot of 1s. All right, so a lot of 1s. Someone threw up Tesla. Yeah, if you're trading other ETFs like a TSLA, leverage products, that
works.
counts as well,
Yep,
right?
yep.
It's still the trade is the trade. You're trading Tesla.
There you go. Some
at the
1s
same
and some
time.
2s and some 1s and
Oh,
some
2
2s
plus
and
1s,
some
some quick
007s.
maths.
And what's up to
Yeah,
James
some
Bond?
quick maths. Let's go. All right,
Shout
so a
out
lot
to-
of people on Tesla. Look, there's so many more 1s than there are 2s, Sean.
There's some
So,
Qs.
There are some Qs. Yeah, people talking about QQQs. All right, yeah, I get it.
Pew,
yeah.
pew, pew.
Yeah, Qs was a great trade as well. You just had to get long.
Yeah. Qs are fantastic. Look, we like all
There's
these.
there
it
the
is.
poll. Yeah, there we go.
What
I trade?
What did you trade? What did you trade?
What did you trade? What'd you
I
trade?
know.
Yo, what'd you trade, fam?
I know. I'm off that hour.
Oh boy.
Okay. I'm never off that hours, trust on. But believe that. Okay, well, believe this as well. There goes Palantir. Just broke that 40. So we only got out at 75% of it. We'll have to wait. And we had said that this could be a possible problem there. So unfortunately, Palantir goes bump in the night, upside right there, up 2%. Great for the long term, for sure. But for today, we took a shot there. We took a shot and no workout. So we'll have to wait to see if 72.50 now breaks, and that will be the end of that trade. We can get out of everything else now, and then just end that one, get out of 100%. We only got out of 75% there for that breaks. We still have a piece. I'm not going to average into that. So what did I trade today? How come there should be a both realistically on here? But I'm just going, nah, leave it. That's fine. I'm going to go with the one that I made more money on. And believe it or not, Google. I already talked about that. So Google there for me will be the best one. We do have, yo, what up, Nimrod? Yesterday, I realized over 70% of my portfolio are either, welcome to my world as well, but mine are not in crypto, either in chip or crypto. No, do you want to play the Am I Diversified game? You're not. Right there, looking to, here we go. All right, I didn't read the next line. Looking to diversify. Okay, long swings, yes. Eli Lilly, yes. Walmart, yes. Neil gave you Walmart? Okay. Yeah, we've been talking about Eli Lilly, Walmart for a very, very long time. Also, any favorite foreign stocks? All right, so there is all-world ETFs. I think you can get into some all-world ETFs. I like those as well, so you get some exposure in the different marketplaces, right? As far as something outside...
World ETF. What is that?
ACW.
I can go along the world?
Yeah, all other than North America.
Oh, so it's like everything other than.
Other than,
and
yeah.
it's an ETF that,
Yeah, exactly. Because so many tech names and everything like that, outside of the US,
there's some,
I mean, sure, you have
some
Chinese
great markets.
Yeah, I mean, the Chinese is big on tech, but, okay.
Oh, there's an
check the
updated poll.
here. I'm gonna
Okay, there's
answer
an
that.
updated poll.
All right, well, then I
did
got to
I
go with
trade
both
both?
then.
No, I didn't.
Both going to win.
I got it.
Pretty sure on that one. Yeah, I can't remember what the all-world ETF is. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would know that. All right, so some foreign exposure. I mean, if you're going to look at Canada, CP Rail, I think that's CP. Is it just CP? Right there, yeah, Canadian Pacific, yeah, exactly. So I really like...
Railroads or banks or...
I was just going to say CP because of the fact that you have also exposure there for tariffs and trade, right? So again, owning all the rails. So here's CP. Again, this could be something that you might want to get into some of the transports, right? So we talked about old world stocks like the Dow Transports. Oh, a big stock with GE Vernova. That's not bad. GE has been printing out pretty good since the split as well. So there's some diversification opportunities with General Electric as it's coming back in. And again, like some of these names I'm going to recommend, if you want names at all-time highs, we can set up some scanners to try to find some of those as well. But look at GE right here off the 200 period. The last time you got GE at a 200 period moving average, I mean, you're going to go back into 21 here. This is sorry, this is not 21. This is August. Back into August of 23. So you're back in a year and a half, and even then lower than that. GE, nice little stock there to diversify a little bit if you are nervous at all. Right there, Nimrod. So I do like GE.
The current high is 420.69.
Are you kidding me?
Nope, I am not joking.
Yeah, we have it listed as 420.69. Did you get out there at least?
No, I didn't get filled, dude.
Oh, man. So what were you waiting at? 69 exactly?
Yeah, I was waiting at 69 exactly. And
I cannot.
That's hilarious. It's hilarious. But
how does that happen?
I mean, you know.
How could that happen to the penny, though?
It's a simulation.
It's a simulation.
It's a simulation. We live in a simulation.
Yeah.
No simulation. Somebody's up there being like, oh, this would be absolutely hilarious. Get it done. And then, you know.
But I mean, it's funny for now because is that going to last over the day and then tomorrow you can open it higher?
Yeah, here's the thing. That could push back as well, right? That didn't really do that much.
That CP is pretty good at $77 if we break that.
Yeah. Let's see if we come back into that level. But it's absolutely hilarious that happens to be the current high on Tesla. We got a bit of a reserve here on that level, and it pulled
I'm
back
shorting
in.
Palantir again.
But yeah, no, market tailwind strong. Apple, oh boy, we're still coming into Apple as well. So you know what? This is the point where I'm just like, all right, well, I did have a piece to sell some at that level. It's very, very arbitrary, right? Oh no.
What?
Wayne's gonna kill me with this one. He's asking me, which gateway did I use to post on the 69?
What did you use? What one? What was it? What was it?
You got to use the memex. Come on.
Oh, you trying to get that?
Because it's a meme. No.
No, because you missed the fill. I was going to say, so yeah, it's all funny. It's all fun and games at the end of the day. But I was just going to say, seriously, you know, often we will play off of rebates and things like that. And they do have a good rebate. That's why I thought you said it. And then, of course, it was a meme. So I'm okay with that as we go. All right, so we got failed out there on Palantir. But, of course, it was a failed break. What else is new? Like, I feel like that's been happening to me a lot today. So we just got back in. And all right, you guys want to know? I mean, I put on only 400 shares back. You guys are always asking like for share size. The reason why we don't disclose it on here is because we all don't trade with that, and so I don't want to put Obi or Neil or Sharif or anybody in a position where they feel that they have to tell you their share sizes. So that's pretty much why we've decided not to do that. It has nothing to do with.
We're back at 69. Oh, there's a reserve on 69.
Others aren't comfortable.
Do you see this?
It's all the way back up?
There's literally a reserve sitting on 420.69. There you go. I got my fill. Thank you.
It is still at.
That is the high of day right now. So I mean, you know, maybe they were like, we forgot Obi. Let's go pick him up.
So Obi stock there's bottom left is the 420. I mean, that's unbelievable that it came back up and stopped on that level again.
Yeah, the memes write themselves.
That is. I mean, now I'm starting to think like, yeah, this market. I mean, I've already said from the jump, man, that this market is pretty rigged. And I don't know if that's more proof or not right there, but like that seems to be a little weird. So the question is then, do we just punch long at 470, 420, like 75? Because then we broke that level and no more resistance there. But did you see size there or no?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
There's a reserve offer. So there's literally, we were talking about like, what if Elon throws up a wall for 2069? There was basically a wall at 420.69. Reserve offer.
I find out that is nuts.
Yeah.
Wait till I tell Neil this tomorrow.
I mean, you know what? Here's the thing. There's I don't know. You know what? I can speculate. I can make jokes, but it happened to be that way, so it is what it is. I did get some out there. just for the lulz, but let's see if we can continue to push 421 potentially. Let's see if that comes in. But currently, as of right now, the prior bar high on the 3-minute was 68 in my book, but 69 was printed, and then the second high is also 69 as well. So you know what? I'm going to start taking some off here, and then hold a little bit of the rest, just to be like, all right, well, if that is just a coincidence that wall happens to be a wall just at an arbitrary price of 420.69, let's see if that can come back in going into the end of the day there. So yeah, we're trading back much lower there, distinctly different on the pullback here. What's up, Darren?
Just be aware here, we have GME on the move to the upside, coming into a pretty key level here, that $29.30 level on the 15-minute chart. This was also our reaction high, at least on a closing basis on the 15-minute chart. It was previous resistance, but the reason I wanted to point out this pop now is because if you recall, Roaring Kitty did share a tweet last week. In the photo of that tweet were some numbers, 1:09 and 4:20. So one of the interpretations of that was 69:20, because 1:09 would be 69 seconds or 69 minutes. So just be aware here. I'm not sure if that's what's moving GME here. They did have earnings, but the 420.69 confluence is pretty interesting here. Tesla, all-time high 420.69. GME here with that Roaring Kitty tweet of 1:09, 4:20. So something to be aware of. I would say lots of social media attention for GME as well, as pretty much is expected at this point. Back to you.
Yeah, so good question there, Obi. Yeah,
I thought he tweeted again.
Yeah, no, referring to the tweet from last week there about that. So we'll have to wait to see what exactly that all means. Like if this dude somehow called the top of
which dude?
Roaring Kitty.
Oh yeah.
Just with that 69 comment, because then Tesla goes to 420.69. So you're wondering, like, maybe there is more to all of this. All right, well, we are not 69 cents in the money. We are 75 cents in the money right now on IBIT, as that is not turning around off of any special levels, it doesn't seem like. We did say that we would look at a little bit of Bitcoin. I mean, this is just what it looks like on the 1-hour chart. I mean, it's a nice move higher here. If we're going to look at, again, just let's look at 15 minutes. Give us a little bit of an area to say where could we maybe fall back into here. Just looking at a longer time frame. Obi always talks about, and we all kind of talk about prior bar highs and things like that. And I mean, right there, we sort of took this out at 101.1. That's kind of what we're doing right now. You're only $200 higher than that. So coming back into the 50 period right now would be a trade. That's 99,000. Look at this hold there at 100. These are 15-minute charts. So you basically spend 45 minutes kind of hitting those levels there, right? And then blasting finally as we take higher. So it looks like right now Bitcoin definitely kind of flagging out up here. I still think we can get a little bit higher there for BTC. So that would be a call, but we're holding Bitcoin right now in IBIT. So we are getting more and more out of this stock. This is going to be my number 2 P&L. Number 1 is going to be Google. And by the way, Google just continuing marching again. Looks like it wants to take down this 194 now. So Google continuously strong. It's 317. We do have these market on close imbalances coming through for us so far. Again, all sell side right now. What has Ford been up to? Yuck, man, still 10 bucks. I think it was like that 12 or 13 level. We'll have to look back on the daily of what Ford, not even, man, maybe even 1150 right there on Ford. Yuck. That stock doing not much. Oh, this is a good example of, waiting in line. So most of these gateways will be first come, first serve. So you're waiting in line here behind a lot of shares just to get filled at 39. So that's where the patience game, when you see a stock like this, it's because it just can't break. There's not enough excitement for someone to buy 20 or 40,000 shares right here, and same way to sell it. So you're going to have to wait for a move in the broader market to get these going. XOM's been disappointing, man. XOM hit those highs as well. We'll have to check back on what's going on with USO right now. Let's do a little bit of a broader look on the whole markets. Right now, we'll give Obi a chance to breathe and myself and all that stuff. So if we're just going to go here, the S&P 500 right now up let me see if I zoom in a little bit here. A 0.9 to go, right? 2% right there for the Dow. Sorry, that's the NASDAQ right there. Here's the Dow. Dow is flat today, so we'll have to find out what's going on. We talked about volatility, and that was a buy down there in and around 13 or 12 and change. Nice move in the VIX over the last couple of days, so that's a nice move. Back in today, but the VIX has been real nice. All right, let's go back over here to S&P sectors. That's what I want to check out here. What's going on with with the #1 sectors on the day. So you're going to have comm services up. We saw Meta going crazy earlier today as well, consumer discretionary, with Amazon, Google starting to go up to the high side, information technology, energy. So that's what I wanted to get at right now. Oil, energy today up 0.36. So the S&P 500 energy upside, and then financials. After that, so you're going to get discretionary, services, technology. A lot of the big tech names are going to be in these three. Then energy, of course, has nothing to do with the NASDAQ, not even an energy name in the NASDAQ. And then you have financials again, same kind of a thing. That's up. Other than that, everything else is red. Materials, healthcare leading the way to the downside. What is bleeding on healthcare today? We can go find out some of the components here as well. So let's just click over and see what's going on. It's Eli Lilly today leading the way. Oh no, CVS down 5%. UNH can't get out of its own way right now. Unfortunately, we do have that talk about United Healthcare and their CEO and Luigi there, Mangione, getting caught. And of course, the manifesto and all that, not helping the sector one bit. No matter how you think, it's still a loss of life is not something to be talking about. Like basically, I don't even really want to mention the shooter's name or anything anymore. It's not important. No point in like, sort of, I don't know, what's that word where you sort of sensationalize things like this?
It's been a little sensational.
It's been a little bit of time. We all know the story. Look it up. But at the end of the day, right here, I just want to say, like, I might buy the Dow. UNH is a big name in the Dow, obviously, and it's come into this 200 period moving average. So instead of, stepping in front of, this stock, you could probably buy some now if you haven't yet, because you're at the 200 period. But I really like the diamonds as a play that I'm going to be making. I think it's diamonds on the Amex. So hold on a second.
Diamonds on me dancing?
Yeah, diamonds. What was that?
Diamonds on me dancing?
I don't know that. Adair is singing it over there. Okay, so it's something. I was thinking about Diamonds Are Forever there with Jay-Z and Rihanna, but of course, can't talk about Jay-Z no more. Like, there's so much cancel culture happening right now. Oh, Kanye. But does Jay-Z... Oh, yeah, Diamonds. Yeah, it's Kanye. Okay, so Kanye was canceled years and years ago. So, and now he's uncancelable maybe, because now you're hearing all these other things.
I like the old Kanye. I miss the old Kanye.
Which one? The graduation Kanye?
Oh, yeah. By far.
I don't know. I feel like now that he's got rid of Kim and all that nonsense, I feel like
he's regained some of his senses. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're
Kim divorced him. But,
as a transitive property,
what I'm saying is
he's regained his senses.
Yeah, he's just, I don't know, maybe he's a little bit, now that he's unmarried right now, or is he married again? Is that Bianca? I thought they broke up again. I thought there was something like they went to Tokyo and broke up or something, that Bianca Sensori there. I don't know. He's like a muse.
Ramin's going to call him and ask.
Right. I always thought that she's got
Yeezy on speed dial. Right here.
Anyways, okay. Let's just keep on going forward here.
I'm doing my best not to get FOMO here, man. But,
what is Tesla at?
Tesla's at 419.60.
Okay, so it's still there.
I mean, we're getting some. Oh, okay. Are those imbalances or no?
Imbalances. It's only 320, my guy.
Yeah, no. I saw some interesting price action there. It could have been nothing. It could have just been,
Could have it been a nothing burger?
It could have been nothing burger. It just could have been some noise. There is
by the way,
some block boys doing some interesting things.
You are here at, there's Kanye East. What's up, Kanye East? We're talking about your brother Kanye West.
Yes, of course.
Coming in there. We still got to get that burger. We keep forgetting to do that.
Yes. Yeah, Cabanos.
So we'll have to wait.
Yeah.
Are you in tomorrow?
I am here tomorrow, but I'm not on the show.
That's fine. Neil's here. No, because what I'm saying is we got to do a day where all three of us.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about tomorrow then?
Yeah, I'm cool for it.
Okay, we're going to try burgers tomorrow because I took a day off on Friday. You'll be filling in for me on Friday, so I can't participate in that one on Friday. So we'll have some burgers tomorrow. We'll try that out and give a good little ranking. I feel like we could do like some Dave Portnoy stuff, where you're ranking pizzas. We could like start ranking some burgers around the city.
Yeah,
Next thing you know, we get some sponsors and all that.
Like,
they send the burgers in right there, and then we start to go, man. I'm all about that burger. Favorite topping on a burger?
Caramelized onions.
Holy sh! I'm just gonna say it. Shit. I was just gonna say that.
Boom.
I was gonna use the word sautéed, but caramelized, fine. Like, wow. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Burger Boys. Burger Boys. That's what we should name the segment? I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Burger
Boys
back.
So the other day
they got Bash Bros.
we went to Elijah's Automatic, which is a great place, just on the Queensway there. It's brand new. It's by the guys that brought you Burgers Priest. I was talking about this before.
Yeah.
And they had like, they had an automatic with bacon and cheese. Nah, I'm just going with the plain one. Try the plain one first, you know. If you like the bacon, no doubt about that. There's, you know, we're down with that, but nice, easy. It was great. I like just the simple stuff, man. Even smash burgers, boom, boom.
Smashes are all right.
Get going, man.
There's
bacon
forgetting
jam.
the place.
God,
There's
I'm
a
not
place
gonna
nearby
read the
where I
chat.
live. I think it's just called Smashburgs in
Smashburgs?
Smashburgs in Markham. The inside is absolutely beautiful. They did like a whole like a retro gaming.
You're charging like $50 a burger, probably.
I mean, no, I think it's like $12 or $13 a burger, which is not bad for a smash.
That's what I was gonna say. We did.
Smash burger, yeah.
I think these were 14 or 15 a burger.
Like, there's certain places where I'm like, if I'm gonna spend like $20 on a burger, like there's only certain places that I would rank that against because there are places that actually are worth.
The fries were cooked in beef fat.
Ooh,
that was very unique.
have you had duck fat fries?
Most likely, yes.
Yeah, those are good.
Truffle fries.
Truffle fries, of course. Yeah, I like the sweet
potato fries
Sweet
or-
potatoes with the chili mayo.
Oh, the chili mayo.
The
And they had-
spicy mayo. Yeah.
Yeah, they charged us $1 for the mayo, and it was I believe it was a mix of, I believe it had Dijon, paprika, and a little bit of some sort of relish in it as well. That was really great. Okay, so anyways, guys, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and you know, if you like this kind of talk, we just got some more out of Palantir. Unfortunately, I feel like this trade not going to do anything as the market stays at the highs. We did need a fall back in. Someone said on the chat, what are these imbalances that we're talking about? Well, we're displaying only New York imbalances right now. They come at 350 on the NASDAQ. This Mara one, as you can see, is from 930. So that's an early morning imbalance that was left there. So that's a stale order. But right now, all of these, as you can see, the market times keep getting updated every time there's a new imbalance posted. So right now there's 3 million shares basically to sell on XOM that are coming at the close. So you can click on the stock. Sometimes it moves it, sometimes it doesn't. It's because it'll get paired off. So PV is the paired value. So once that paired value, you see like it's already had 3.4 million. And it's already been paired off 600,000. So that will all get paired off. It's interesting when it's not pairing off. So as we get closer and closer to 4 o'clock, and this is still a big sell, then you'll start to see XOM retreat because there's a big sell coming. It's like knowing there's like a hurricane coming in and everybody goes to, you know, avoid it. So they're running away from that. So that's what will happen. If it's a buy imbalance, stock will go up as people anticipate a big buy. And if it's a sell imbalance, as we get closer and closer to 4 o'clock, they'll anticipate that sell and the stock will fall back in. So that's part of sort of front running those imbalances right now. So,
yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm not really expecting anything from the market right now. People are saying, like, should we expect Tesla to go down or Google to go down or Apple or any of these names? The only name that I'm in right here, and it's because we're at the high of the day, and that's going to be Palantir. We are going to stop out slightly higher than 50s because it just came right back in. And honestly, this is going to be, again, like we're going to lose on this trade, it looks like, all in all. But it's just like we're just getting out for slightly like one-to-one trades here. But it's not because this is 20s. These are 20s. Our best fills are like 14s and 15s. So we're making like 10 and 15 cents. But if we get blown out to the top, we're losing 20 to 25 cents. So it's not on huge shares. We talked about that, a couple hundred shares. We're just trying to scalp back and forth and see if we can make a little bit and then hold for the bigger move. Like I would like to get $1 on this, but right now 71.80 is kind of that level right there that if we get anything down there, that's great. And we are getting close to getting punched out of this trade right now. So my order's already in, a break of 55 and we're out. Unfortunately, that is the high of this move and I'm not gonna be there to absorb it anymore. Last time it false broke and went back in, but right now the futures are at the highs. Not worth gambling your day away or anything like that just because you're gonna be wrong on a stock that's already huge, right? Palantir is a big stock, so we'll stay away from it. Hopefully we can retrace back down in, but as the market goes up 2%, it doesn't look like Palantir wants to go anywhere. I think you're smart just sitting on Eli Lilly on Tesla right now.
I mean, it's holding.
It's getting too complicated.
Yeah, I mean, I did piece off some more. I'm holding like a breadcrumb into the imbalances. I don't want to get wiped down by like 3 or 4 points on an imbalance because we have been trading a decent amount. We had some strong volume get through the 420. We had a double top with a held offer reserve iced at 420.69. Hey, yo. maybe Elon did hear us. Maybe somebody's watching maybe Elon's watching the show, or maybe some whales are watching the show. I have no idea, but 42069, oh boy.
Oh, you talk about someone watching the show. What was that? I didn't even hit that.
Oh yeah, maybe, I don't know.
You probably called.
I missed that call, I don't know.
Maybe I hit it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go.
So did you read this, did we get to this super chat yet or no?
It's a new one from Nimrod, you can read it.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's
maybe give some of your advice.
I'm gonna pull that in. I don't know, I don't really give any advice. I'm trying to get some advice from people who are more experienced than me, but okay, let's see what Nimrod is saying right now. Setting the record, Neil gave Lily, Sean gave me Walmart. That's number one. Okay, so 2, Sean said earlier to get out of Uber, what would you do if you bought 300 a few days ago and down almost 10%? So on Uber or?
On Uber, he means.
On Uber? Okay, so what did Uber do? I don't know.
It's down 10%.
So if you bought 2 days ago? You said it's.
I think Nimrod's basically saying that he's probably long at 66. He said he's down 10%.
Okay,
Uber's at 60 bucks.
60 bucks. Okay.
So how does it look on the charts for you? We just got stopped at a pound.
Well,
go through 50.
Here's the thing. Yeah, I think I'm okay with. What time is it? It's 3:30. Yeah, I'm okay with writing that into imbalances.
Does he close?
All right. So yeah, no. Let's take a look at Uber, because I know it's definitely been on my watch since this day where we had. This was a couple Thursdays ago, Thursday, December 5th, where they had that news of the Waymo competition in Miami. Whether or not you think that's a strong reason or not, the fact of the matter is the market did increasing volume. This is distinctly different. When do you see this, Sean? Usually you see the most volume happening at the open and then kind of teeters off and then picks right back up into the close. But this right here is distinctly different, where you have expanding volume going into the close with some of the highest bars printed middle of the day and into the close as the price opens near the highs and closes at the lows. And then look at this continuation that we're getting today off of the breakdown of this level. Sure, we kind of violated that in the after hours yesterday. That might have given us a little bit of a sneak preview. I don't know. But we come in today, we test that level, we break those lows, and we continue to fade a little bit lower there for that continuation move. So yeah, definitely if someone was like, all right, you can only trade Uber today, I think in retrospect, sure, it's in retrospect. I think those are 2 places that we can definitely be watching, and you can see the aggressive selling that comes in off of that area as we sell off underneath VWAP, underneath the opening range low, underneath prior days after hours low, and then this significant low from the day one catalyst day one as well. So I think that low right here is probably the most significant, with this one being a little bit less, and obviously the opening range low being a little significant as well.
The futures.
But yeah, any opinions on Uber? I have no idea, but that was some of the price action, a little recap of the price action that we had over the past few days. What's up, Adara?
This market certainly is to the upside here, guys. We do have a lot of these S&P 500 names making sharp moves to the upside and the downside. But I thought for fun here, usually I'm a little bit contrarian because we're up on the day and we have a lot of Mag 7s making new all-time highs. I wanted to take a little tour through these names, of which there are 4 of them. So more than half of the Mag 7 made or touched new all-time highs today. So let's talk about the catalyst and what are moving these names. We're going to start here with GOOGL, that is Google. We did have on Monday, this kind of slipped by here. They announced this new quantum chip called Willow. That catalyst ended up really moving the market yesterday. Today, they've also introduced here a new AI agent prototype that can browse the web. It's part of their new Gemini 2.0 feature. This was kind of announced, and it slipped past the market's interest. That could have been what moved us here. It could also be a day 2 play for the quantum chip, but either way, great look for GOOGL. Then we have TSLA, of course, with that high of 420.69. It is worth noting here, all jokes aside about whether or not Elon watches the show, he did actually retweet someone who posted basically that apparently Tesla's up 69% on a year-to-date basis. So Elon Musk did forward that. So that's, I think, kind of maybe an interesting point there with regards to 420.69. That very well could be what's happening here. Regardless of the actual catalyst for this being up so significantly on the day, Goldman Sachs here maintained a neutral rating, but raised its price target from 250 to 345, saying that it's likely to actually do well despite a pretty mixed auto sector right now. And then we have Meta, META. This one here did actually make a new all-time high today, just above 638. There's no catalyst in this one, and actually we did get a negative catalyst midday that didn't impact the stock too much. Basically, there was a major outage that impacted Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp access here for thousands of users. So META, still to the upside. And last but not least, we have Apple. Apple here down in the day, but we did, just graze that all-time high above 250s. They did have a report here from the information that the company is working on an AI chip with Broadcom. There was also some catalyst with its new Apple Intelligence, including its ChatGPT integration, which is finally launched. So lots to look out for here for AAPL, TSLA, GOOGL, and META. Let's see if they keep making all-time highs. But in the meantime, if you're enjoying this content and all this coverage, make sure you like and subscribe to check us out every single day. Let's see if Tesla closes at that new all-time high of 420.69. Back to you.
Good one. I like that review there. Thank you, Adair. Yeah, going over all those names. I mean, that's what we'll do here. We have the market recap show coming. We have Adobe at 405. That should be interesting. Okay, like we have a new position now. I'm in the futures. I mean, I'm just going to go into SPY. So forget this, man. I mean, we just got... What's up?
We're at 65s again. Did the boys on the reserves come back in? Okay, 69s. Do we print higher? Do we? Oh, okay, we blast through it. So okay, we're back at 421s, Sean. Let's go.
Okay,
so
I have it up too.
It was temporarily there. That made me a little happy there, but Wayne's just like, halt up, please. It's hilarious.
Halt?
I love this.
Imagine Tesla halts.
Let's move 10% real quick. 42 points. Let's just boom to the upside right here. Squeezing everybody from all times. Any and every short. Anybody who's swinging some sort of puts on this. Anybody who's swing short on this. Maybe Bill Gates. I don't know. Underwater,
I mean,
offside. We talk about
swinging short on that one.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Look at Palantir.
Oh boy.
I don't even know what to do. Like we just get stopped out of Palantir, literally at that high, all the way down. Not that big. I told you we had what? I think we had 400 shares. It's fine. It's only 40 cents. 4 4s. $160. Could have bought a new hat. Okay, so scan that e-signal QR code right there immediately. And it's not going to give you to tell you to short or to go long, but what it's going to do is it's going to give you the exact reading that you need. You need to have accurate charts. You need to be able to trade names with catalysts. I'm going to show you right after this the hot list scanner that we really like around here, that I really like as well. Showing you names that are moving. Thing is, the charts, completely customizable. There's like thousands and thousands of indicators you can all use there. And it's also an entitlement base. So if you're looking for entitlements and the ability to trade Canadian stocks, the Nifty 50, any of those different names that we talked about, Nimrod, you talked about some foreign exposure. eSignal has it all. I used to use these things to backtest European names, when we were trading some of those markets back in the day before we came on the show. Now I just don't have time to research everything, but names there that were really popular, like back in Paris and the Madrid exchanges. Again, eSignal, man, if you like the charting, like the charts. I mean, just go scan it, go check it out. It's eSignal. I mean, it is on the more expensive side just because of the quality of service that they have. And again, I really like it. It's been number one for me anyways. Been using it for a very, very long time. Go check out eSignal ASAP. All right, Google's 250 in the money. IBIT right now. Awesome. $1 in the money. Right there. And these are the kind of trades, like I sit here and we talk about making easier trades. And I mean, that dip into VWAP there on a long stock, we like it, man. IBIT up 5%. There it goes. Just perfect trade, honestly. Came in there, broke that level 57. We took it. That was a 100K break. So we liked it. It's at 101.3 now. Nice. Basically all-time highs, 101, 104-ish. And then it dipped back in and VWAP was bought, and then boom, right there back up to the upside. So we like that. But the new position of the day. Okay, we've traded the futures pretty good lately. I always am over on the NASDAQ, but the thing is that, today we have Tesla moving around. Obviously, it's going to be a different hold there on the NASDAQ. We have Apple also, a big piece of both the S&P and the NASDAQ. NVIDIA, likewise, but more of a piece of the NASDAQ. So let's go over, and I don't know if it's what's going to happen right here, but this 608.50, like we've come back into play here even on the 5th. So you're going back about a week where this was getting all this garbage out of here up to 609. That's going to be ES high. Right? That's the ES high. We haven't broken the high yet. on the S&P 500. The NASDAQ is already through, pulling back a little bit now, but still already through. You still have that 609 right there on the futures. So I was just going to give this trade to 608.50, a little bit longer than that, but that's a good trade too. So if we weren't only 40 minutes, it's 3:40, so we're only 20 minutes now until the close. I'm not going to trade individual equity because we do have those imbalances, but I think the SPY rate here at these levels is something. So we're going to short the SPY rate now.
Oh boy.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe we get a pullback. I mean, VWAP is possible there. I mean, with Tesla still going, I guess, to that upside. Yeah. Like 422, like the fact that we were long today at 403 down there, it's crazy. Yeah. Just the movement. I don't know what the average daily move is on this thing, what the average daily range is, ADR, but I don't think it's $25, and that seems to be what it is today. You can look it up, I guess.
Yeah, no, I think it's absolutely crazy move. And again, I had the degeneracy to like every price off of the open, and I guess that retrospect, bigger picture, would have worked if you took the same prices on the right side of the V. Right? That's something that I definitely got to be doing a little bit better. I was 100% wrong for all of these fills that I took on the left side while we sold off. But when it finds support, now these supports, I have them marked out. You know, I showed you a little earlier as to like what that 402 was for me as well. And I'm like, all right, well, like if this cracks below 400, then yeah, I'm absolutely wrong, and I'm willing to give up a decent chunk of my daily risk on the idea. But again, the execution absolutely sloppy. I don't need to be giving up that much risk if I am patient enough, right? If I'm like, all right, stop out. Sure, you're taking paper cuts. You're not taking an aggressive amount in terms of a total gross loss there on that, and then you actually get just as aggressive on the right side when the bidding comes in, and that definitely would have worked well. And here's something interesting as well. As the trend kind of builds and we reclaim these highs and it does that V shape, we break through the highs, and on the first pullback, the consolidation above highs, and then we pull back, we pretty much hold some of this consolidation, some of pre-market consolidations as well. All of these levels are held well above that VWAP as well. We reclaim. We never really look back at 410s, which again was a great level from a couple days ago. We're looking to take that inventory into and through that 410, and oh boy, did that continuation really come in. Again, it pulls back, holds, showing that the bid is still there, and not really accelerates, but starts to grind a little bit higher on a chop move to the upside. This is absolutely beautiful, giving me a little bit of FOMO as I was short 250s, and we're trading 246.80. So I got to get good on that one there. Definitely did not. Apple got me good with that one there, but no, Apple didn't get me anything. I need better exit rules. But let's take a look at that. Tesla is what I'm talking about. So okay, so right here holds that prior day's close level as well and continues decently to the upside. Take a look at it on the 30-minute. Look at this 30-minute trend, man. Absolutely clean 30-minute trend. Maybe you break a bar on, what is this? When is this? 11:30, you break a bar maybe, and then you kind of pick right back up and hold that trend coming into the close with only about 17 and a half minutes left into the bell, and we've been holding on the 30-minute chart. And of course, the hourly is going to be even cleaner. Look at this. This is just straight buying. And if you look at this as a bigger picture, we had that aggressive selling that came in on Monday. We reclaim all of it. We hold consolidation above those Monday highs into the close yesterday, open up a little bit higher in the pre-market, pull back into those same consolidations, hold the level higher, and continue. So it's like, all right, well, you know, this is just a continuation. This pullback held, and that buying comes right back in. And don't forget, we're buying up all the way from the trend break, the multi-year trend break that, again, I keep on talking about this one. So I know there's a lot of lines. There's definitely a lot of lines on my chart. Oh boy. Let's go to a higher time frame and isolate which line actually matters the most to me. And it's this one here, Sean. Like, look at this. Trend resistance, boom, all the way from 2021. Wow, look at these tops. Look at these tops. Boom, 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 boom. We finally break the trend resistance. We pull back. That resistance acts as support. And then we trend higher with higher highs and higher lows, breaking this high and ultimately breaking this high, this high, this high, this high. And today we broke those all-time highs right there, past those 414s, 416s, whatever you have on your chart. We broke past all of them as Tesla pushes even higher. And yeah, these are anchors from anything, any sort of events, a lot of different things all the way from the beginning of the year. And look at how strong this is. All of these anchors pretty much, at least some of these anchors found some support as we kind of stair step higher and higher onto this. Now this is a really messy chart, but again, I take it day by day, and only a certain number of those indicators actually matter on a higher time frame. So absolutely beautiful price action. I mean, you read about it in the textbooks. To see it actually happen live and live through it is a great lesson. Did I take some swings on that? Not really. So maybe a missed opportunity on my part when it comes out. I'm like, oh boy, like, is this really going to be this textbook when you have a multi-year trend pull back in, support, push? And then that just confirmed to me this year that, and I've heard Michael Noss say this as well, price action is fractal. It doesn't necessarily matter what frame you're looking at. Price action is king. Price action is action. And there are certain fundamental concepts of price action which seem to stand multiple time frames. So it's interesting stuff to live through, to learn. Absolutely beautiful. We're taking a bit of a pullback here on Tesla as we come into these imbalances. Only about 6 minutes left. What else is taking a turn?
Gold futures.
Maybe nothing really. Yeah, I was going to say a little bit of the futures, but yeah, futures are still trending gradually to the upside as of right now. A lot of these, wow, AMD 131 high a day. That's absolutely crazy. ARM as well, straight to the upside. That one's a nice strong one as well on the day.
Come on,
let's see some of these earnings names. Oh boy, look at this one. You remember Dave & Buster's from this morning?
Yeah, play.
Yeah, I was looking at it. This was one of my top ideas. Maybe nothing too crazy, as I didn't really write a specific plan for it because I was like, I don't really know what to do with this thing. But we did trade lower. We had a bit of a bounce, but look at this strong selling that comes in gradual to the downside. We had a bit of a sideways range, and that range breaks down. And once that range breaks down, we've already been weak. We failed to follow through the highs, making lower highs, and kind of starts to break down, trickle into the close. Again, into the close with some expanding volume here on Dave & Buster's. Oh boy, the shorts are not playing around on this one, or the sellers are not playing around. Not necessarily every seller is a short, but yeah, sellers definitely in charge on play. And then we also had Stitch Fix, SFIX. That one was definitely, it was on my top idea list. I didn't really take it because of this crazy action that it did right off of the open there. First 3 minutes, we actually get a strong drive, and it just gets slammed down. Wow. The slam down was pretty nasty. Sure, it's a $6 ticker, $6.50 ticker, but look at this. It slams right back down over 12% into the next candle open. So that's wild. I'm like, all right, well, if we're gonna, that's a little directional to me. But here's the thing: the market comes in, or the buying comes in, and the market does what it's going to do, and I have no idea what it's going to do until it actually manifests. And those buyers definitely manifested themselves here on Stitch Fix today, as it gets a little bit higher off of these earnings reaction. And it was Stitch Fix was a 52-week high push. So we did get a little bit of a shake and bake off of the open, which was pretty nasty, but we hold these pre-market lows. We also hold earnings reaction pullback lows here as it consolidated above that 530 mark. So low a day today was 533. So if you were like, all right, well, if I don't get it off of the open, get stopped out on that position, where else can I look for a bid? Well, where it showed you where the bid might have been off of the earnings reaction last night is a good place to potentially look for the bid, because it's already shown itself there. And if it shows up, that could be a potential thing. And sure, it's all in retrospect, but it did show up off of that slam off of the open. And again, the last kind of ticker that I had eyes on in terms of earnings today was Macy's, and Macy's has done relatively well. We've reclaimed all of that action we got off of the earnings reaction right here. So you see the earnings reaction high at that 16.5s with the low at 14s. We reclaimed that. There's the anchored. We hold that anchored off of the opening session, and we continue to trade up. And look, the intraday anchored also kind of the same here. It'll be relatively the same for tickers that report in the morning, because some of this specific VWAP is calculated off of the I guess intraday or the days of action right there. So nice strong move on Macy's, kind of bidding right back up into yesterday's lows as well as earnings reaction high there. So strong moves on the day. A lot of trends, very directional moves as well. So can't really complain. Can only think about getting a little bit better with these crazy opportunities that we're getting, right? Like you said, those 403s, those were some of the best. That was the best place to buy, and we both had that entry. One of our entries was definitely in the 403s on that push. So it's like, all right, well, you know, getting more aggressive on the right side.
Right, exactly. It's getting less aggressive early and then just waiting for ultimately the best trade.
Yeah.
All right, with only a minute left, I got out some more Bitcoin right there at 58. So we're almost out of Bitcoin. I mean, that just topped out again at like 1018 or so. So we're able to get out of some of that right there on IBIT. I mean, we got a great fill on the SPY. Like this came back in and we got a fill there at 75s. So good, but it's only 20 cents. I mean, I'm waiting for more. We do have just a couple of minutes now until these imbalances. Google's been a beaut. We're waiting for 95. So hopefully that will come in right now as well. We're $3 in the money on Google right now. So again, like we said about this, play the names that you're a little more convinced on what direction they're going, right? And for Google, we had sort of been told that it was long, and we knew that earlier on. So right now, with only 10 seconds or less, we'll go refresh this, and then we're going to see what's going to happen right now. So we'll watch out for Google. For me, it's more about the SPY. We'll see what happens right now, where these markets come out from. Okay, nice tank. Not tank. We just got filled there again at 75s. So nice little fill down there on the SPY as these guys came out. Wow, Coke with a big buy. XOM sell, look at this, see? Remember it was 2 million? It got bigger, right? So there's the push down for XOM, the quick little flush there. Wow, this is a big sell. I don't know what's going on right now. Merck, downside, sell. Walmart, sell right there. These quotes are taking a minute. Costco, Cisco. I saw Walmart and I saw CSCO. That's funny, that's Walmart. I mean, you think that's Costco, but Cisco downside there. NVIDIA as well, trying to get down into that level there. So Bitcoin's fine. It's not really doing anything at all to the SPY. So I'll put out another piece here at 78. Maybe we can get that. Look, we're short the futures. It looks like we'll have a win on this. If we cover it right now, we're out. And it's pretty good because we started shorting up here. It's about 15 handles or so, I guess, to the downside. We started shorting this at what time? 3:30. So 3:30 is all the way over here. So it's pretty good, man. It's about 15, 16 handles in the downside for the SPY, but it's not really moving as far as a stock here. But yeah, good. Oh, sorry, that's the NASDAQ, my bad. We're right into here, 30. So yeah, it's only down there at most 8 handles on the spiders. So that's why. So that makes more sense. NASDAQ fading out. That's because of NVIDIA, I guess, with that big sell. So yeah, all right, more covering there on SPY. No point in giving this to where we were. We were going to give this all the way up to the weekly highs of 608.50. But right now, let's just give it to here. Let's change our stop. 608.10. We break back above 608.10. So I'm basically canceling everything right now and just going to put a stop in now. Is it 608? Yeah, so 608.16s or so. We'll blast out if it gets through there. We'll get out. But right now, it's the only position we have. We have small on IBIT right there. And then Google's really ripping. We should get this fill very soon. I'm offering 96s. I might just do it right now. Nice move upside for Google. We're offering in the 90s. Let's see if we can get it. $3.20 in the money on Google, $1 in the money on IBIT, and a dime on SPY.
Yeah, I think, well, Tesla's making some fresh highs as well.
Wow,
kind of,
Tesla,
some squeezing action going into the close. So are we going to see that 425 pushing up into the close here? Again, these numbers pair in and around 55. So we got about 2.5 minutes left to see that happen here. But 22 halves is what we're trading at right now. Let's see if we can get up to 23s. A little bit of size on 59 there, but I'm pretty sure it'll get slapped as it's only a couple hundred lots. There it is. Bye-bye. All right, so let's see if we can get to 43s. What is this market doing? This market's taking a little bit of a pullback on the NASDAQ, sustaining on the ES as well. Apple's not really doing too much
422
as of right now. Yeah, man, 422 is like, yeah, about 10,
wild
and being 20 points in the money, holding that 403 position is just like, all right, well, you know, it's a bit of a fumble. But here's the thing: it's a beautiful thing as well, in my opinion, because now I have a little bit of a chart to go back and be like, all right, this was potentially an A trade, maybe a B. I don't know about an A plus, but it was a little unclean. But at the same time, it was definitely an opportunity that I had to have, and I might have underperformed on it a little bit, just a little bit. That's sarcasm, definitely a lot of bit, but. how can I do better on this next time, right? I can say that I participated in the sell at 420.69, right? That'll go down in my trading history books potentially, just as a good meme. But you know, the price action speaks for itself, right? It's like when things are going to set up like this on a larger time frame, and we're going to push through all-time highs on a ticker that's relatively heavily shorted when it comes to large caps as well. And yeah. And you definitely see the squeeze on the tape as well. We saw that bid coming in on Friday. We saw that bid coming in on Monday. Sure, it didn't come in yesterday, but oh boy, it's coming in a little bit today going into the close once again. So it's like, all right, buying has been showing itself in and around some decent times where the ticker is known to do a decent chunk of volume there. So that's the open and at the close, right? Here comes 423s. Here we go. Do I see any 423 prints? Yeah, there we go. So 423 is printing right now. It is 30 more seconds until these tickers pair. I don't really see Tesla on this list just yet. I might have to scroll. There it is. Tesla's a buy for 340K. So all right, so it is on the side of the imbalances right now. Let's see. I don't know if we're going to get to 425 going into the close, but well within range in terms of a 5-minute bar there. Tesla, we've seen it print multiple points in a single 3-minute, 5-minute bar. So well within range as well. Oh boy, I was watching that Cisco.
Go futures. I
was watching that Cisco buy imbalance, and look at that. Would you look at that? It's like it's
I can't
crazy.
Look at that.
Okay, so right here, so it comes out as a buy imbalance, and then straight quadunk gets slapped to the downside. I'm like, all right, well maybe didn't. It's a good thing I didn't participate in that one there just yet. But what's up?
No, so we did get out of Google right there, which is good. I mean, it's same as you, man. That's going up to the highs right now as Tesla continues to go higher. Google will close at the high of the day. Good trade there. But you know what the money is right now? It's this. Finally, the SPY. There it is. So here's 50 cents. So yes. Oh boy, we talk about trading the futures, man. Talk about trading damn futures. We should have just stayed there. We stayed there. We only got involved at 3:30. The first time today, man. We trade the TQs all the time. Generally speaking, to me, it doesn't really matter whether or not we trade the Qs or the spiders or anything like that. You just kind of, or stocks out. You guys have seen me trade SMH. I might be done in stocks, man. Honestly, I might hang that up. But we've been really hitting some of these ETFs and some of these indexes a lot better than we have been on some of these names. But anyways, today was a good day because we had Google, Tesla kept on going. But it's just nice to see some follow through here in the actual broader market to the downside off of some actual technical levels. And it does make sense that technically speaking, maybe a little bit easier to trade the futures for reasons, right? I mean, it's 500 stocks battling these levels instead of just one single stock risk. But there it is right now. I mean, this is good. This is gonna be a good one for me here for sure on SPY as it just continues to fall down and really putting the other trades that I made today sort of on the back burner there, because what we wound up losing there on Palantir was just kind of, we were back and forth. It'll probably be roughly a flat afternoon here, net as I look at it. Because again, on Palantir, it was the only other stock that we were sort of battling there. And it was like out, blast. And that happened to us about 3 times where we got out and then it took out the highs. We got back in, we were able to take a little bit, but every time we were more than 1-to-1 on the negative side. So not a great trade there for PLTR to end the day. Good trade there. Macy's, this is something else because Macy's was an up stock for me today. Although closing at the highs right now and going to be flat, we took advantage early of that momentum and able to get out right there when it broke through 50. Could have been a long, but a great trade there for Macy's. Ramin, I'm going to throw it over to Obi, and then may you please repeat what you told me.
Yeah, no, 424 is coming up right now, but Sean, Apple gave us a puke going off of those imbalances, trading even harder and lower as those imbalances pair, going again 2 more minutes into the close, and it's absolutely crazy. What's that Elon tweet there? Oh boy, it's
Yeah, the link is in the chat here. I'll click it for everybody.
Oh, right. Okay.
Ramin just put this in here. What she wanted me to show everybody. Elon Musk, as foretold in the prophecy, right there, Tesla 420.
Here we go.
And this guy's like, Birdie, Elmo. What's up, Elmo? Yeah, there it is right there. So Elon Musk here. Just a few followers, only 207 million followers right there as he
might own the platform, just maybe.
He may. And,
let that sink in.
If he doesn't own it, he should buy it.
Yeah.
And probably pay way more for it. He probably
exactly.
should. All right, so we are now out of IBIT. With only a minute left, Obi, I'm gonna get over to that desk, but a big trade alert. Okay, there it is. The SPY, we just got out, so we have to cancel that out now. Get out of the SPY. Yes, sir. That was a good one, man. Again, I had bids out there to cover because we only have a minute left, but that was a really good trade for me. Shorting into here, shorting it twice. Boom to the downside, get that 70 cents. Good trade to end the day there on SPY. So I'm out of here, Obi. I will see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
A good one.
Sounds good.
Bring us to the close here.
Yeah, no, so 425 is incoming as we trade 424.50. So this thing is squeezing into the close, Sean. This is absolutely wild here. And on the other side, I don't know what the opposite of a squeeze is, but let's call it a puke. And Apple puking to the downside with aggressive volume, just people hitting that bid so aggressively. You can see the tape. If I were to rate this tape in terms of speed from a 1 to 10, 3, 2, 1, we closed. Sorry, I was talking too much again. Thank you, Tara, for that one there. But yeah, no, I was just like, yeah, if we're puking into the close with that aggression, that tape, at the end of the day, I would have probably given it, I would say if I was to rate it from 1 to 10, I'd definitely give it like a 6 or a 7 aggression to the downside. Not as aggressive as I've seen, but definitely relatively a lot more aggressive than we were selling off on all of this. And oh boy, big fumble for me. As again, I liked the reversion of the break of the trend for the reversion there. The trend did break, and I'm getting out way too early. And it happens, sure, it happens. I didn't know that it was going to do this, but here's the thing. I have to be more nimble. I have to be more active and I guess participate in the trades that are working for me, the trade ideas that are working for me. Because when they do work, it seems to be that sometimes or oftentimes I get out a little too early. And this thing, not only did it break down through that 250, but we closed in and around 246 halves on Apple there. So I don't necessarily know what the closing print there was. 247.77, I guess I have here as the closing print, but somewhere around 246s, let's say, on Apple. I think I'm reading the right thing, but yeah, it is what it is. Tomorrow we try to come back swinging a little bit harder, trading a little bit better, making some better decisions off of the open. I was definitely disgusted with my decision making off of the open, but you know what? We kind of strapped back in, honed in, focused, locked in, and then kind of came right back off of that horrible decision making. And yeah, no, I'm going to be doing some decent review tonight for some of that. But hopefully you guys had a solid day as well. Without any further ado, we're going to pass it off to Sean and Dara at the big desk for your market recap. I'll see you guys around.
Thank you, Obi. Welcome to the big show here. It is the recap show. Welcome, Adara. How are you?
I am doing well. How are you doing?
We were just talking about that. You got the green on, and what a big day it was for green names. I mean, we had Tesla, big move upside there. New all-time highs. Tesla, Meta, Google, Apple. Give me one more.
I can't think of one of them.
Broadcom, maybe. We'll see what's going on with Broadcom into earnings. And then Adobe, we're waiting for Adobe today. As I look, man, SMH up 2.5%. Wow, what an index name there today as well. Google up huge. There's Google today up. This is a 1-minute chart. What a run into the close for Google, finishing at the highs, taking out that 1 o'clock high right there. But just to talk about some of the markets again coming through, consumer discretionary, we talked about that one, up 1.7%. The NASDAQ finishes the day here as I type in here QQQ, finishes the day with a downside move. Maybe we're paying attention, man, because when Adobe hits, that could be a market mover. I only think this could be a market mover because software as a service, basically. We'll see if software can remain pretty hot. We saw MongoDB had a good report, but then downside there as one of their executives left. So we'll have to wait to see what happens with Adobe. 405 is what we're waiting for on this name. And the number that we're looking at right now is an EPS estimate of 467.
Yep.
So when Adobe can come through, we'll have a good look. There it is on the daily, looking decent here, 585. Thank you so much for continuously watching us as we go over some of these markets. Uranium and gold up 1% today. Uranium up 1.6%. But I'm shaking my rear at this one because SMR downside right now. It's shaking my head, right?
I still can always believe we
we said that right there. No profit sometimes can be a little bit of a problem when they have a negative EPS, but right now SMR and NewScale downside. I think someone asked about buying something today. I think it was Nimrod. I was going to laugh at that, but this could be a good one if you're not into uranium. Right here, as we bounce off the 50-period moving average, there are other names like Conoco as well, or Cameco, sorry, that can get bought up at the 50-period. This is another uranium play, and if you like the pure plays, then you could just get the ETF, which has also made a move back in. Please interrupt me when we get Adobe.
I don't have anything to do.
All right, so XLF, again, financials downside a little bit today as well, upside, but downside over the last little while as we're trying to hold out. We see the big guys in JP Morgan Chase, again, just sort of coiling up one more time here. We saw Citibank make all-time highs just recently. Some of the Canadian banks in a little bit of trouble. We did have TD Bank downside. Again, nice rebound off them as they have to restructure and take care of some of their U.S. business as they were caught their hand in the cookie jar a little bit there with some bad deals. TD Bank downside. We did get Canadian interest rates today. They cut half a point.
Yes.
So that's big. We'll wait to see. What is it, next week, the Fed, or?
The Fed is next Wednesday. It's actually less than a week from now because it's going to be December 18th at 2 p.m. So less than 7 days worth of 24 hours.
Okay, we'll get ready for that one coming through as well. Adobe now is out, so we'll have to wait to see what's going on with them. Ooh, way lower. So it's going higher like cray right now. 569, 570. I'm seeing that so we're going to get these numbers in a minute. Adara's going to break them down in just a second. But I'm hearing obviously a beat right now on both sides, top and bottom line. 570 right now for Adobe. We will get those numbers when we do have them. EPS 481 versus 466. Yep. When you're comfortable, tell me and we'll throw it over to you.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
With those numbers. Okay, let's go get them exactly from Adara. Adobe turning red right now, though.
Yeah, they did have earnings per share here of $4.81 versus $4.66 expected. As Sean said there, that's a beat. Sales here of $5.61 billion here versus estimates of $5.54 billion.
Whoops.
That would also be a beat. Apparently, this is fiscal 2024 records here of $21.5 billion. This is, I guess, their Q4. So they're apparently for the fiscal year, $21.5 billion in revenue, $8.06 billion in cash flows from operations. So there's pretty good numbers here. There's actually 11% year-over-year increase for Q4 revenue in terms of that growth. I'm trying to see if there's anything here that would send this to the downside. The digital media revenue grew on a year-over-year basis. Document cloud revenue grew. Creative revenue grew. I'm not seeing any drops here on a year-over-year basis, but I will continue to look through this report.
All right, so we just had Benzing up on our screen here as well. 481 beating 466, 561 beating 554. So right now, double beat.
Their guidance was a beat too. I just got that in.
Okay, so that is a little disappointing then, because with a guidance beat, we do not expect Adobe to be downside. You're always going to get names that, and we talked about.
I figured out what it is.
Okay, you're finding something else?
Yeah.
All right, so right now, Adobe, nice downside move, but it's pretty flat. We were expecting an 8.5% move. It looks like it's going to just hover around here. It just tried to get back to positive one more time. But right now, Adobe down 2%. What did you find over there?
What I found here, so again, they did beat here on Q1 2025 guidance, so $4.95 to $5 for non-GAAP earnings per share versus estimates of $4.95. So in line to a beat. Then Q1 revenue guidance, $5.63 to $5.68 billion. That is a miss, though, below estimates here for Q1 revenue guidance. Now, what about their fiscal 2025 guidance? That is even yikes here. So fiscal 2025 EPS guidance, $20.20 to $20.50. All of that is below estimates of $20.55. Their fiscal 2025 revenue estimates also completely missed guidance. So 23.3 billion to $23.55 billion versus estimates of $23.79 billion. So just to recap here, they beat for Q1 EPS estimates by a hair, but all of their other guidance for Q1 and fiscal 2025 was a miss, guys.
Tesla, thank you, Adara, for that one. Tesla go bang today, man, and it's still continuously going higher and higher right now. We just saw that Elon tweet of 420, prophecy accepted or prophecy hit on that quote, but there it is right now. Tesla burning short still. It's not stopping in the after hours. We closing in around 424, 425. We just touched out to 427 right now. Make sure you do hit the like and subscribe for sure. And I think you're right there, Jay Lee in the chat, man. Algos, once they start going and start buying up names, there's no stopping them. That's too bad about Palantir, man. We actually were short most of the afternoon. Now it's starting to pull back a little bit there, actually all afternoon, as it closes near highs. But the pull back in there, 72.50 for Palantir, still up 2%, which was a pretty dangerous day for PLTR. I mean, this name, look at this. Gave up the ghost early, down to $68, finishing the day up at $72.50. Good recover there for Palantir, turned on again for them. Look at this, buyers turned on again for Google. You can see the RSI relatively high there for Google. What does it look like on the daily chart right now? Yeah, RSI, like when you had Google down here, man, 40.50, nice move up as we start to top out right now. Google taking out all-time highs today and just printing. When you see a stock at 195, the next level, Adara, is
200.
Exactly. So I think Google right there coming back through. Probably see that tomorrow. The next one, anointed, we might as well do it right now. NVIDIA, you're the next contestant to come up to days and all-time highs. I think this takes out 150. It may do that tomorrow. Nice little run there at the end of the day. But then a few names started to fade out. We were looking at this 140 mark. It was a stop and go spot for NVIDIA. We had that written down today as a possible fade short. So we should have waited for those positions to come through. If you had, then you had got that dollar right there at the end of the day on NVIDIA. As I see Obi, we forgot to actually talk about that. It came up to 140 a couple times. So Obi, mark that down for tomorrow. I think NVIDIA at 140 is definitely going to be an interesting play to come through. Let's just check out on Adobe, as that's the only play really. Whoa, that's the only play today. And we slapped a little bit of a fail on that. They beat 3 times over. They beat the top, the bottom, and they guide higher. That's that 3 sort of trifecta.
They didn't guide that much higher.
Oh, they didn't, but they.
Yeah, that was what I said. So their EPS guide was like barely a beat, but all of their other guides were a miss. Like
Okay.
So Q1 EPS guide was a beat, but fiscal 2025 they missed on EPS, they missed on revenue, and they also missed on revenue for Q1.
All right,
So the guides was yucky, very yucky.
All right, there we go. Yeah, we've got Allo on today, but Adobe. Allo. That's Lulu. Adobe, hopefully they're not getting into the clothing unless they're like 3D making these things. I just think that software, we saw MongoDB the other day get hit as well. We've seen Palantir give up some names, some stuff to the downside. Doesn't surprise me that Adobe, again, a little bit of a downside press into the 200 period. I don't know, man. I mean, I know that Ramin and Fabian have sort of said like Adobe, there's so many things that you can create now. There's Canva. Was another, is that another thing? No, it's not very good, Canva? Yeah, it is. Oh, it is useful, but not as good as Adobe, not as powerful there. When I say Canva, it makes me think of Kava. This is gonna be another one of those names here. We've seen CMG actually get higher than when Nichols left. So right now, Kava though, a nice little pullback in. This could be a name
Chewy.
that gets bought at some point as well. Some news right now hitting
news on Chewy.
On Chewy. Let me see what's going on right now.
Public offering here. They announced a public offering of Class A common stock here, which is funny. The same day they announced this, we had GME yesterday saying that they're not going to be doing any more stock offerings for the fiscal year. So interestingly enough here, Chewy, which I only say combined because they do have that Ryan Cohen connection, announcing the public stock offering here. So just be aware here for CHWY. Also Robinhood on watch. They did announce their November 2024 numbers, but I wasn't really seeing much of a move on that here. Apparently they had 24.8 million funded customers at the end of November, and equity notional trading volumes at 147.1 billion, but I'm not seeing how that compares to estimates, and the stock isn't reacting as much as that move in Chewy.
So today we had, good coverage there. I mean, there's a lot of people that are in Chewy there. We had Ryan Cohen. We had all this talk about, whether or not Roaring Kitty was talking a little bit about which company, again, with some of those tweets. And we've seen him, of course, in many of these plays in the past. I don't know where it's going on right now. We did have a big name today for GameStop. I mean, GameStop was pretty good, up almost 8 or 9% at its highs. But look at that magical level there of $30, came in and then fell out. So I'm going to actually put up a 3-minute chart to give us a little bit of a look here on the day. I really like these kind of breaks on earnings where you finally sort of bounce around day's high and then finally take it. So for me, there was definitely a trade there breaking through 29. If you held that, that gets you up to 30. We saw yesterday on earnings, the earnings high of $30.25 or so. That seems to have played again today. So despite all the back and forth about GameStop, it looks technically pretty sound as it gets right back up to those highs and then fade out again. But look at it ride this 200 period, does not break it. We'll see tomorrow if GameStop can withhold that area. I like this. This is looking pretty healthy again, coiling up. I mean, if this was any other name other than GameStop, we might look at this a little bit differently. More news on something?
Yeah, I have more updates here in Adobe. So we know they missed their fiscal 2025 guidance for EPS and revenue. We know they also missed their Q1 revenue guidance, so their EPS guidance was in line to positive. But here's another thing that they missed. Their Q4 revenue was actually down apparently on a year-over-year basis for product revenue. So this actually dropped by 29% year-over-year. They also had services and other revenue dropped by 6.4% year-over-year. So as we said, some of their different sales categories were up. It looks like their specific revenue breakdown, at least the ones people are really caring about, are actually down year-over-year. So that is a pretty interesting to note there. Social media, apparently, digital media revenue up 12%, document cloud revenue up 17%, creative cloud. So we talked about those being up, lower segments, I guess sub-segments, but in terms of the overall segment, the product revenue and services drop. Probably not a great look, especially when product revenue is dropping by 29% year-over-year, because as we just talked about, there are alternatives, right? They're not perfect, but you have things like Canva, which does have a free tier, stuff like that. So ADBE, I guess, feeling the effects of all of this AI and new media.
Yeah, so Adobe right now, 517 going to the downside here just a little bit. So some of the sectors today, FXI, a little bit of trouble there, down almost 1%. As some of the names like Alibaba just can't get going really. Faded back out again. We had that gap higher there on, again, more stimulus and more positive talk about China, but then the fade right back again. Look at some of these gaps on the daily. You don't see this too often on ETFs. Doesn't look too smooth here for FXI. So I would say stay away. Another name there, the big one that I like is Alibaba. And we've talked about it, again, gapping forward upside and then just the fade right back in there for Alibaba. So watch out. If we hold 200 period moving averages, we really, really like that. Sectors to watch out for today. I mean, this is going to be a little bit of a sector watch. It's retail coming in. If I can just, how do I make this a little bit? I don't know if I can get it, and I can't really get it too much higher there. But Carvana up 6% today. How do I make this just a little bit bigger there? Is that going to be, yeah, there it is. Okay. So here we go, the retail side of things. Ulta Beauty, I mean, take a walk on that one. ULTA, I mean, what a great name. That's really battled back off of some of those lows back in there, 340 up to 430. Ulta, have a day since earnings. Nice move to the upside there, giving it today another look. Dick's Sporting Goods, another name. Ulta Beauty and Dick's Sporting Goods, both two names that we don't have here in Canada, and I was impressed with some of these stores that we went there in the United States. So some retail names doing a little bit better. CVNA, Carvana, just keeps on ticking higher, right? Yeah. 250, nice little gap fill from 200 up to 250, trying to hold that 50-period moving average. Carvana, a really nice name. And then, of course, AMZN, another one that we talked about, a new all-time high for Amazon. You do much shopping there on AMZN?
Not really. I'm not really an online shopping person. A lot of people joke that I'm a Luddite or like someone who doesn't like technology, because if I could do something manually, I would prefer to do so. I'm trying to like catch up to society a little bit. But yeah, anyways, long story short, I usually do not online shop unless the thing I want is unequivocally unavailable to buy in person. I know you do some online shopping. I know that. That's the thing.
I do some online shopping?
I know you do, yeah.
I don't, like going into malls and everything is fun. I don't mind it, but it's more my kids and my wife like to do that sort of that window shopping. I like to know what I want to get and then just go grab it. So for me, it's like if I know that I want a certain, I don't know, jacket or something like that, I try to find a good deal. I go, even going, you know what I find actually too? Going straight to the stores themselves. Mm-hmm. Like for example, I'll just open up the Nike app. I'll just bypass Foot Locker completely.
But who goes to Foot Locker's?
Well, I'm trying to think about, that was just an example.
It's a bad shopping experience at Foot Locker.
Is it?
I went once and I was like, so what is happening? Then I never went again. I was at like.
What was it happening exactly then?
Well, it was just, and I went at like 10:30 a.m. on like a Wednesday or Thursday. It was the Square One location. And then I don't know where the line is. I'm saying what I think is the line. All these people cut in front of me. I'm like, how is that the line? I don't know what's happening. The employees were kind of snippy. I just wanted a gift card. We're not doing that again.
They must have not known who you were because,
I mean, this was also like a really long time ago, nor would I ever think I would want or deserve special treatment.
Right. Well, hey, I mean, now there's no choice. Everyone loves Adara. Put in the chat. How many of you guys? I mean, come on, Adara being back here on the after show has been absolutely fantastic, giving us all of everything right now. All right, let's go over to the stock heat map. All right, here we go. And again, Adara even makes these notes for us, man. The markets were absolutely huge today as we had some big sectors, right? The one sector that I want to talk about quickly was healthcare. Of course, we do have that sad news. I think it was Monday. I don't even know what day it was anymore. That we did have the assassination there of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. And since then, it's been a little bit of a rough go. But Eli Lilly today down 0.4, J&J down 1.7. And again, this is XLV. This is health technology. So UNH not going to be a big one in this one, but right there, nice downside move today for some of those plays. It's health services. So again, it's the insurance companies and the care companies that are going to get some downside push. There's HCA right there, as we're talking about. And then there's UNH downside moves, Cigna as well, Humana. Look, here in Canada, we don't have the experiences that you guys do with the healthcare as much anyways. So opinion on that one, we'll hold it out. But I know there's not a lot of impressionable spots there for healthcare. A lot of people do not like that sector. And again, definitely waning on that. Apple was really funny because Apple today takes out that 250 and ends red. So watch out for that one. We talked about that. Good reversion. Obi definitely nailed that. Called that there at that 250 marker there. NVIDIA, I think that tides might have turned there, up 3%. Broadcom is coming tomorrow, man, and this is the name. We talked about potential all-time highs. I think Broadcom has that chance to do that. If we look at AVGO, you want to get a name that, again, NVIDIA went today. But I think, honestly, NVIDIA and AMD all might have gone ahead of this guy. Like, if Broadcom comes out tomorrow, and we said, remember I said, what was that all-time highs? We missed Amazon. There when I asked you, and we just talked about it. But right there, look at Broadcom right here, bouncing off 186 right there. That's going to be all-time highs, and their report comes tomorrow. I really like the stock, holding 200, holding 200, holding 200 period, and now going higher, bouncing just recently yesterday off the 50 period. I like the stock. But if you're trying to buy something that maybe hasn't gone quite yet, look, you get a big day in SMH today. Obviously, as a big ETF, doesn't normally move 2.5%. But SMH right here, bounce 50 or the 200, bounce 200, bounce 200, bounce 200 again. So right now you're there on SMH. This could be the play for you. If you want something that has a little more juice to it, maybe the SOXL, where you get a little bit more action on this one. 3 times bullish right now on the semis is SOXL. So watch out for that one. Guess what time it is right now?
It is 4:20. Well, it's not 4:20:69. It would have been if it was like 4:21:09. We could have arguably said it was 4:20:69. But I do want to shout out, I know Obi was really excited about that. Also, did you actually get that fill at 4:20:69? Obi, did you take some of it?
Yes.
Please just punch for Obi fulfilling what I'm sure is a long-time trading dream. But you got to do it for the memes, is what he said there. Also, Kroger making a bit of a move here. They officially terminated their merger agreement with Albertsons. So the board has authorized as well here a $7.5 billion share repurchase program, which includes a $5 billion share repurchase program. So both those announcements coming out of Kroger. Let's see what happened to Albertsons, because Albertsons this morning actually said because they don't like how Kroger was handling their whole merger. We know that yesterday the judge axed that merger, and then we have Albertsons actually suing Kroger for, quote, billions of dollars because they think that Kroger basically should have cleared the antitrust issues before going forward. So they feel kind of duped. And Kroger announcing the $7.5 billion share repurchase program probably is a little bit of salt in ACI's wound. I also want to thank, there's a couple of super chats here. First, I want to thank you so much, Willis Addison, for the $2 super chat saying, miss you, Miss LePage. I mean, I am here every single day on the news desk. Thank you very much, Willis Addison, for the very kind comments. Really appreciate that. And I also have a Twitter presence as well, just at TraderTV Adara. And then we also have a super chat here from Nick W. If we can pull this up. Thank you guys for all you do, tagging you and myself, Sean. Could you give your thoughts on SQ, Sean? Seems to be breaking out. Saw Neil's segment. So I guess Nick W wants to know how you feel about Square or Block.
Okay, I know Neil's been talking about going long. I guess you're talking probably about the trade of the week right there, breaking out on Square. I was just looking at Tesla really quickly here, and I will go over Square because thank you so much for the super chat. I just wanted to look at Bitcoin right here. Bitcoin made that move again. We're in a 15-minute chart. Let me just go to an hourly here just to see. So we did get as high right now as 102 right there for BTC. Still looking at that 104. I think we take that over tonight. So watch out for Bitcoin there later on. The trade that I had today on Bitcoin was IBIT. So I actually logged into my trading account over here, IBIT. Let me just see what's going on right now on IBIT. So we bought, again, there's the 100 break right there in and around $57. And then there was the take back into VWAP and then closing there. We got a 58 print on IBIT, which is close to the high. But see this big red candle at the close? Nice downside push there for IBIT. But again, buy. The one thing that I learned today was you want to buy names that are super, super strong and just don't give up on them. Tesla today, perfect example on the stick. You know, we love the stock, right? But there it was, came in, both Obi and I, long at 830. As soon as we broke 410, we really like that level there. But it does come back and give us a scare there at 400. We got just washed back and forth here, basically ending the day on Tesla flat. We were able to buy some 403s and get some out at 420. Like that was a $17 winner. But again, we had such small amount of shares that it just flattened us out right there. And then we went back and forth before eventually taking the highs, 426 for Tesla at the end of the day. A very, very violent one there for sure. Our number one trade of the day was Google. Oops, GOOGL. Maybe we might have been up more on IBIT by the time we got that 58 fill. But Google, another name today. You want to talk about something that takes a while to break higher? Google finally goes. We talked about buying this name on dips. But again, once it broke through that 180 marker, we knew it had some juice to go. It takes double the pressure on this name because of Google and Goog. So there's two classes of shares, but we always trading Google, finishing the day at the highs and doing nothing really here in the after hours. So again, we like Google. The march to 200 seems evident tomorrow and imminent. They're evident. We don't have any evidence of that right now. I think that will come very, very soon for us there. Tomorrow, maybe, on that one. So USO today, we talked about some of the energy names. USO today, what a big move there for oil. I actually filled up last night, which was pretty good at 139 per liter. Right now, USO, nice upside move. Oil's been sort of dancing around here. I feel like we're going to have to wait for Donald to come in, see exactly what happens with drilling, see exactly what happens with the Middle East, and then maybe get some push and pull here. XLE has been a dip buy opportunity for a while, and it looks like it still is that as well. Down to $90. We had JC Peretz on the show, one of his long calls, and Obi and I actually went to one of the events.
I saw the Twitter photos, yeah.
Yeah, when JC was here from All-Star Charts. Well, actually, maybe we'll reach out and have him back on and see what he thinks about some of these plays right now. But he liked XLE, and we sort of did top out there in and around $98. We'll have to find out what's going on with these policies because right now, energy and XLE, this is oil services, boom, boom, boom. 5 or 6 straight down days. So let it settle. But right now, looking like it wants lower there, XLE. Okay, what do you think about this, Adara? Uber right now, we bought some more today. We were lucky enough to get 60X. I don't know what it was, 60, 70, something like that. I'm not going to be like, yay, we got that fill. I don't know where this one's going. But look at this, right back in there, into $59, $60 for Uber. It really needs to hold this island level down here of $57, $56. If it does not, man, the bottom, I don't know where this will wind up floating around. $40 maybe.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. What do you, anything on Uber there? I know we had Waymo.
Yeah.
And we had GM lose Cruise there yesterday, which I thought would have been a good case for it. But I'm guessing that more money may be piling into Tesla and coming out of Uber, as maybe Tesla on the automated driving has been anointed the winner here.
Yeah.
Uber, that's not the play for Uber, right? Automated driving is going to help them. I think it can help them become more profitable. But at the end of the day, Uber continues to fall in. Any thoughts on Uber?
Yeah, my theory was kind of, and I said this earlier in the midday as well, I think potentially some of the reason, I've noticed there's a correlation between days that we have sharp downside moves in Uber. We'll also have sharp upside moves in Tesla. Now, I don't know if that's exactly 2-to-1 correlation, but it's also interesting that Goldman Sachs note that we had in Tesla today raising its price target. They maintained neutral, but one thing they did say about Uber, or not about Uber, about Tesla, was that they're really excited about their full self-driving, right, that FSD, and saying that Tesla actually looks like a lone standout in that sector, in the auto space. So I think that's a really good note. Also, I remember a while ago, I believe you asked me, Uber or Lyft, what's my pick? Either you or Neil, I think it might have been you. So on the daily chart, I remember at the time I had said Lyft. I'm going to pull this up to see if my opinion has changed. I stick with Lyft. To be clear, Lyft is also in kind of a danger zone right now. I would love to see it hold support here at this previous level of resistance at 1550s on the daily chart. But I think Lyft has a lot more stability and a lot more potential lift here than Uber, which it seems like the only ride Uber might be getting is a trip to the downside.
I think you're right about that one. Good one right there. Bang. Good one.
So I don't know if that answers your question, but that's my take.
No, I was going to say because Lyft is still at this 200 period and hasn't broke it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, some definite support there coming through on Lyft. Okay, we're almost done here. Meta, big move up today for Meta as well. New all-time highs. Meta, Amazon, Google, NVIDIA. Hey, everyone in the chat, pick one. Which one would you guys pick? All right, let's do these four. Apple, all-time, everything that made an all-time high today. We'll maybe do this on I'm going to give you a minute to second this. 4 stocks, Apple, Google, right? So that's all-time high today. Apple, Google, Tesla, all-time high today, or Amazon. So, all right, I'm going to go. I'm going to say Google. And the reason why, it's just very, very simple. I'm going to talk about it from a swing trade over the next couple weeks. I think it has $200 in its goggles, right? So I think you at least have $5. I think when you break 200, you get a little bit of momentum through that 200 marker. Plus, it's just breaking now. It had a lot of consolidation just taking this out, right? Google, huge move up. But Tesla has really got going now as well. RSI at 80. The last time we had an RSI up here, we had fallen down. What is Google's RSI? Kind of similar, but it's at 75, maybe a little bit more room to go. Amazon, nice upside move as well. Hey, they're all overextended. I choose Google. What say you?
I say Meta, and
right.
so I say Meta for a couple of reasons. All of these is the only one that I would day trade. I actually did trade a little bit today as well to mixed effect, but basically from a day trading perspective, I like it, but I also like some of the support resistance we have. This one I chart pretty frequently. As mentioned, I do trade it. We have some support here around that 550 level, but then we have this beautiful breakout of the 600 level. Now, do we have lower highs? Yes, it's not necessarily a flat top break, but look, we have one touch, October 7th of 600. Another touch, October 30th, 600. Another, just a wick here, November 12th of 600. And we finally have a buoyant break of that $600 level, clean and true, just beautiful. And what I like here too is you've got a little bit of a bull flag. Now you're kind of to the upside. And Meta is slowly but surely trying to chug to the upside. Like when it's strong, it's pretty strong. Today we had a little bit of a sell-off at the end of the day, but it's still above that 630. So I think Meta, if you're looking for a slightly more stable play, and again, take that how you will. This is not advice. This is just my take on the chart. And on the price action, I think META could have a little bit more stability than Tesla, but I love your Google play too, because that one is like right near a potential key level.
Yeah, and the other thing too about Google is quantum computing.
That's true too.
Like we're just starting to hear more and more about that. That could be like sort of
really good point.
The next little wave, and then Google will be waving their flag and saying we are the king of quantum computing, which I believe they are. And I don't think that I'm saying anything too outrageous with that one, but I love the Meta break. And I mean, and Amazon is just so clean because Amazon is so much more than just retail. Right, you got to remember about Amazon and their AWS and how powerful that is. All right, we'll leave you on that.
Did you do the square, the SQ? Did you do the analysis on that?
I did not. Let's do that quickly. Adobe right now, nice downside move as well, 506. Thanks, Adara, for that. All right, so Neil talked about Square. Now, the thing about Square is this. I think it's overheated a little bit, but it doesn't have room to run. Yes, it does. My problem with Square is $100. I would not buy it right now until it breaks 100. You want it to break the key level, not bang its head against it a couple times before falling back down. I mean, look at PayPal right here. Sometimes it's good to look at the sector, right? PayPal, still same thing. At highs, trying to fall back down. Look at Affirm as well, right? They all have these very, very similar tops. So again, Square is going to be a little bit different than all of them, but it's at its highs. Look at Shopify as well, right? They're all just hovering right here. It's the whole sector combined. So I would say, I don't know which one I like the best, Square, PayPal, Shopify, but Square right here, you gotta like the fact that it held this 90, trying to gap higher. So for me, do I like the stock? Yes. Am I a buyer right now at 98? No. Believe it or not, I'm a buyer over 100 and a seller under 100, but I don't want to go short on a name that looks like this. So for right now, I like Square, but I don't like it enough to buy it at this level. It needs to break 100. That's only 2% more than where we are right now. Thank you so much for the super chat. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Look, you guys stayed late. Traders stay late. We want to thank you for doing that. What a monster day today again. Huge. This is a good day if you're a tech investor to check that old portfolio out as we continue to go higher and higher and higher. Also crypto, higher and higher and higher. Wow, what a great day. I love being in.
Same.
Me and Neil both in tomorrow. Adara, you're in tomorrow.
I'm actually off tomorrow. I had to use my days. I know, I'm sorry guys, I'm also a little bit sad I'm missing Adobe day one earnings because we know how I love my
that's
spready
fun.
names. I was like trading app today, so it was a good time, but you know what? It is what it is, and tomorrow, or Friday's
take your
gonna be a
time
new
off.
day. Thank you, I appreciate that. New day on Friday.
Plans?
Actually, lots, but none of them are fun. I'm gonna do some laundry. I have an appointment. I have to get my health card renewed before said appointment.
You can do that online, no?
Can you?
I believe so.
Sean, this might be a game changer.
I'm changing
So I was
games
gonna have to
every...
walk all around downtown Toronto, but if this actually might save my life.
You like Trader TV Live, we're changing lives and changing games, I hope. Right there, so there it is. Bang, and
thank
there,
you,
go
Sean.
look at that. All right, potato.
French fries.
But we have
concrete,
done one thing we have forgot.
Roll call.
Jeez, what am I even doing? We got to get Fabian out of here right now. Thank you so much, man. The team is great, says RFID Trader. We appreciate that. I hope our RFID things work for the door tomorrow. Came in today, couldn't get in, thought I was fired. Message Brendan, he confirmed that, but I still apparently am employed. All right, what's up to Andrew Chow today? Warren, Sebastian, I dare you, Adara. Okay, thank you, Sebastian. William Knight is here. Lee Moore is here. HG Rivian Millionaire is here as well. Look, Adara, take us out. You're not here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's go. Give us 30 seconds of roll call.
Yeah, thank you very much to NYC Urbanista. Thank you to Bears vs. Bulls for everything you do, and thank you for the well wishes. Hopefully the day off will be chill. We have Michael Spadafora. We have Bora Hout, Gabriel Matthews, Elon, Damian Tarsa, William King, or William Knight. We have Dr. Lauren, Adventures in Texas, Charlie Tapp, Tim Dwyer, Dollar Bill, Hugh Jassel. I'm going to sound that out so I don't do what you want me to do there. Sister Girl from Another World, Rob Jenkins, Sharmina Khan, Pepper Potts. I love that name too. Nick W. We got the Real Tech Geek, Scratch Life, Escape Planet, Donkey Trader.
All right.
I'm going to close it out. Yes, I did wear green tomorrow or today. We'll see what I wear on Friday, guys.
Exactly. Tomorrow will be neutral, no Adara, so maybe a flat day, then we'll wait to see what happens on Friday. All right, for everybody here at Trader TV Live, thanks, Fabian, for staying late. Thanks, Obi, for a big show like normal. Thanks, Brendo, everybody. Andre's still there. Sharif, Joe. I've already thanked you, but I'll thank Adara again. And I want to thank Bears vs. Bulls. And I want to thank everybody for watching us. For everybody here at Trader TV Live, make sure you join us tomorrow at 8:30. From now until then, that's Adara. I'm Sean. Have a great evening. Ciao.
Thank you all. Take care.
All right, well, enjoy your day off.